Warning. The information shared in these conversations and videos are intended for general knowledge and entertainment purposes only. It should not be considered as legal advice or professional guidance. Additionally, any documentation or references to specific content are solely for the purpose of discussion and understanding. It does not imply endorsement, promotion, or support of said content. The views expressed in these videos and/or conversation are those of the individuals involved and do not represent any official stance or opinion. The content you are about to experience may contain strong language, including explicit words and phrases. This language is used for artistic expression and may be integral to the storyline or character development. It is important to note that the use of such language does not endorse or promote offensive behavior. Viewer discretion is advised, and please enjoy the show responsibly. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. The Canadian Copyright Act, Section 29, allows an individual to use copyright-protected materials when creating a new work such as a mashup and to post the new work online on a site like YouTube. Fair dealing provision for specific purposes like research, private study, education, parody, satire, criticism, review, and news reporting.
But we have a 1v1 request.
Leading into it, what Grace is famous for on the internet, and she's not famous, but what she's famous for on the internet is that people think that you had sex with her.
Tell everybody in the chat where they can find you and
your
why they
position
should
is
bring
that
you back.
it's a problem with the jailing system, okay?
No.
That was your position. You admitted to it.
It's a
You
problem
admitted
with
to
the
it. Are you
criminal.
taking that back? Are you taking that back?
That's exactly what it is. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not arguing that Lincoln was a bad president. I'm just saying that Washington was a better one. That's the argument I'm making.
Deathmatch is no time to be flirty. No revives until 4.
I mean, but didn't the Confederacy have that really cool, like, orange Dodge Charger? That's pretty badass.
The ability to feel pain and have...
Actually, they feel pain
thought.
way before 24 weeks.
I don't think that a man wants to lie in our bed next to you, love, right?
I win.
You know the way. That's why you're sipping on two different fucking spirits.
The woman says, well, I want the kid to go to public school because I want to work and I like women's empowerment and I like abortion and I support all these ideas. And the man says, no, who is the decider?
Prizes roll over.
When by any means necessary, that is how combat goes.
So I'm so happy that you acknowledge that the wage gap is an issue because it's directly linked to the nature of the system, sir.
Chat attacks, they're ready to play.
Well, that means that we need to have young mothers having children. Otherwise, there is no society, right?
The look of a man who's gone down on many other men. So congratulations on that.
Yes. I don't need to answer your question anymore. Because if that is effective, we don't need to torture people.
Base, those are forms of torture.
I'm always watching. Always lurking. No one is safe.
Okay, is this going over your heads? Do you want me to dumb it down for you?
Verbal combat, let the chaos unfold. Chats in the fight, stories told. Attacks and battles, who will survive in this fight?
And then next month, it could be 200 people who are good people. So how can you put a rough number on it?
This is the whole problem with hyper now. It creates a cycle that never stops.
No, I'm saying all killing are murder.
In verbal combats, only one will stay. The fiercest fighter wins the day.
If you want to be the solo judge, it is 60 to be the solo judge. If you want to be, if you want to add on another minute, there's 10 for a minute. Okay. And if we don't get a solo judge, it goes to the chat poll, and the loser of the poll will lose their soul.
Your soul is mine.
Hands up if you made it.
Hands up if it broke you. Hands up if you're still standing anyway. Let's go. Let's go. Another year, carved lines in my face. Late nights, hard fights, lessons I hate. Lost some friends, lost some sleep, lost some dreams, but I still believe. Bills due, wounds fresh, I've been tested. Prayed for strength, got pressure instead. But I'm breathing, yeah, I survived. Clock is midnight, so do my eyes. Toast to the scars we don't explain. Toast to the tears we hid in rain. If you fell down, if you crawl back, tonight ain't about the past. We're still here, still out, still alive, still chasing that fire inside. Raise that glass to the highs and lows. New year, new scars, same goals. We don't quit, we don't fall. Oh, this is hope with a backbone. Oh, if you made it through hell this year, sing it out. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Hey, yeah. Some of us won, barely held on. Some smile through pain just to stay strong. Miss some chances, mess them up, learn the hard way how to get back up. Screens lit up, but the room felt cold, crowds around us still felt alone. But tonight we breathe, tonight we stand. Whole world shaking, we say damn right we can. Toast to the nights we almost broke. Toast to the faith we barely spoke. If you're healing slow, that still counts. Tonight we're more than our doubts. We're still here, still out, still alive, still chasing that fire inside. Raise that glass to the highs and lows. New year, new scars, same goals. We don't quit, we don't fold. This is hope with a backbone. If you made it through hell this year, sing it out. We're still here. If nobody clapped when you tried, if nobody saw how hard you survived, this one's for you. This one's for you. If you're starting over again with shaky hands but stubborn plans, this one's for you. This one's for you. Count it down. 10, 9, 8. We ain't late. 7, 6, 5. Heart still beats. 4, 3, 2. Screaming. We're still here, still out, still alive, still chasing that fire inside. Raise that glass to the highs and lows. New year, new scars, same goals. We don't quit, we don't fold. This is hope with a backbone. From the broken to the brave this year. Sing it out. We're still here. Same heartbeat, stronger spine. Let's go.
Oh, looks much better. Looks much better. I like it. That's what I'm talking about. Much better. Damn.
They creeping they low, seeking to know how I've been living. Where did I go? Well, who do I know? That's none of your business. They watching the road, counting my steps like I owe an admission. Funny how silence get louder the moment they think that you missing. Back to the wall, I learned every room ain't built for my vision. Smiles get thin when they seeing you climbing without their permission. Crazy how they never called me till they was all feeling the distance. Time by the way of exposing intention. Now they seeing it glow and acting like they was there from beginning. Funny how love get expensive the second they think that you winning. Now I keep it on me and I don't mean a weapon, I mean the ambition. Carry myself through them nights I was fighting a man on a mission. Late in the night I was staring at ceilings and planning the difference. Nobody seen all the pressure that's set in my chest in the trenches. I had to learn how to move with a heart and a mind full of tension. Some people pay me righteous to watch for the fall and the ending. I took the long way around, had to build it with patience and vision. Now every move that I made, got them looking for cracks and conditions. Funny how people want pieces of stories they never was in with. Whole lot of questions from faces that never came close to the mission.
It's nice and clear over here. I like it. I like it. Tay Gooch coming in with the big 100. And Joseph coming in with the 2. Thank you very much, Joseph. I appreciate you big time. So let me run a speed test while I'm on stream right now. I know y'all like, what, dude? We did all this yesterday. Easy, what the fuck, bro? I just checking. Just checking. Way fucking better. Way better. Let's go. 40. Let's go. I like it. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Listen. Welcome to another Verbal Combat Friday, the open panel blood sport debate where almost anything goes. Anyone can join, but not everyone stays. All right. Tonight, you are entering the most chaotic and most entertaining arena on the internet. All right. This is where the words hit harder than fists, egos get shattered in real time, and every opinion can become a fight for survival. Okay. This is Verbal Combat, the live unpredictability of a war zone. Okay. Here's how it works. We're going to be going till 12:30 a.m. Eastern is when we're going to start up the finals. All right. Unless we get a chat extension, then we may be going up till 2:30 a.m. But actually, no, that's wrong because I forgot we started late today. See, I had so much shit to do today. I had to start late. So tonight, like old-fashioned Verbal Combat, we're going till 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. All right. And if you want to do a chat extension, all right, it can go up till 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. All right. So be ready for this. All right. Be ready for this. But anyone can join before 1:30. Yeah, before 1:30. If you want to be eligible for the prize. All right. If you don't join before 1:30, you can still play, but you just won't be eligible for the prize when we get to the finals. You know, you're gonna have to go. But throughout the night, we're gonna run through multiple topics based around tonight's theme. Tonight's theme is wild card night, so you don't know what you're gonna get tonight. And I got a lot of hot ones for you. Okay, minimal moderation, very few rules, maximum chaos. In chat, you are part of the fight. All right, you can mute fighters, force topics, remove people, launch death matches, revive the fallen, or just eliminate someone entirely with a fatality. Okay, every move can change the battlefield instantly. All right, and for the fighters, the goal is simple: survive the night. All right, make it through the debates, endure the attacks, outlast the madness. Then late night, we're going to enter into those tournament rounds, death matches, semifinals, finals. And one last brutal showdown to crown the champion. But listen, you still have to face that final clock. All right. You have a final boss at the internet at the end of the night. All right. The champion has to face a final boss. And there's a 2-minute timer against the chat where the chat can pay 200 to eliminate the final champion and roll the prize over to next week. Or the chat gives it to them. All right. It's totally up to the chat. As you guys know over here, chat always wins. All right. That's how it goes. So I don't want to hear no fucking complaining about it after. Okay. But if the chat gives you the prize, winner walks away tonight with $1,200. A custom verbal combat character, a full week of shout outs, promotion, crown champion on the main page and in the discords. If nobody survives, though, again, the prize rolls over the next Friday and it gets even bloodier. All right, so sharpen your minds. All right, steady those nerves and chat. Load your weapons. All right, speaking of your weapons, let's go through these really quickly. All right. We're going to start with our disruption attacks here on the left side. You got your random soundboard attack for $4. All right, you want to attack the panel with a random soundboard. You go ahead and hit that for $4. We have the 2-minute mute for one fighter. All right, you want to mute one of them, make them shut up for 2 minutes. Excuse me. Pretty self-explanatory, right? We have the random funny clip interruption for $6. Okay, if you want to interrupt the whole panel, it'll mute everybody and play one of our funny clips. And you know, some of them have to go soon, so you might as well play them while you can. All right. And you can do that for $6. All right. Then we have the 2 minutes in the back for one fighter. So if you want to put a fighter in the back for 2 minutes, all right, you go ahead. And instead of, if you're like, yeah, I don't want to just not hear them, I don't want to see their face for 2 minutes. That's what you do, okay? Then we have the 7-minute mute for one fighter, okay? Instead of stacking up those fives and getting 2-2-2, all right, get some extra minutes with the 15, all right? And then we have the 5 minutes in the back for one fighter. Again, instead of stacking up 2 10s, go ahead and hit them with the 20, and you get some extra minutes, all right? We have the $50 force a topic, so you can force any topic onto the panel. We will immediately stop the topic that we are on and move to your forced topic. And if they all agree on your topic, I will find a way for them to fight about it. And trust me, I'm good at this. All right. Then we move over here to the battle attacks. All right. If you want to name change a fighter, the best $2 you can spend on the internet ever. All right. The best $2 you can spend on the internet. Name change a fighter. Okay. You can go wild with them names. We have the 5-minute 1v1 deathmatch. Loser leaves. Okay. Let me tell you how this goes. You're going to pick 2 fighters. This is $40. All right. You're going to pay $40. You're going to pick 2 fighters. I'm going to find something for them to fight about. They're going to go for 5 minutes. During that 5 minutes, it's $10 for an extra minute. It's $60 to solo judge. And if we don't get a solo judge, go to the chat poll, and the loser of the poll will lose their soul. All right. We got the 6-minute 3-way death match. It's for $60. All right. This is same as the 1v1. You're going to pick 3 fighters. I'm going to find something for them to fight about. During that 6 minutes, it's $10 to add a minute, $60 to solo judge. And if we don't get that solo judge, it goes to the chat poll, and the loser of the poll will lose their soul. And then we have the 8-minute 4-way death match. All right. Similar to the 1v1 and 3-way, except at the end, 2 losers will be leaving for this one. Okay. So you're going to pick 4 fighters. I'm going to find something for them to fight about. $10 to add an extra minute, $60 to solo judge. And if we don't get that solo judge, the 2 lowest on the poll will lose their soul. All right. Then we have the $100 fatality. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you're like, listen, fuck all this noise, take them out of here. Get them. Take his soul. That's how you do that. $100, you take their soul instantly. All right. Then we have the add Shang Speakeazy to the fight. Okay. So I do not participate unless it's every 10 rounds. So every 10th round, I participate. So I participate in 120. I'll be in 130. I'll be in 140. Right. But if you want to add Shang Speakeazy to the fight on the night he's not supposed to be in, it's $140 to add me in. And that means I'm fully part of the game. I can win. I can be fatality'd. I put in 1v1s, muted, all of that. All right. You can literally pay $240 to put me in and then take me out. That's literally what you can do. And then I have to run the show from the back. Yeah, crazy. Then we have add 60 minutes to the show. Like I said, guys, we're going till 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. But if you want to add that 60 minutes to the show and make it go a little longer, all right, you go ahead and put in $60. We add 60 minutes to the show. This can only be done. Normally we do it twice, but this can only be done once tonight. Oh wait. No, it can be done twice. It can be done twice. I fucked it up. It can be done twice. Then we got our supported tax over here, right? You have the full screen fighter for 3 minutes. All right, self-explanatory. I shouldn't have to say anything else. All right, revive a fighter. So say your favorite fighter gets killed. You're like, no. I need them back. Bring them back to my stage. All right, I need them back. We're winning this tonight. Well, go ahead, put them back on the stage for 90, okay? We have the fatality shield for 1 hour, okay? So this is how it works. You can give a fighter a fatality shield for 60 minutes. But this is what it is. It's $300, and that person for the next hour cannot be eliminated. They can't be put in 1v1s. They can't be fatalities, all right? The idea is like, if we're an hour away from finals, you want to make sure they make it to the finals, you give them a shield, right? Help them out. Then we have the exciting Unplug the game that happened last week. As you guys know how this works, okay? $2,000 instant unplug the game. That means we automatically end the show. If it's not too late, I'll do a after panel for a bit and we'll just hang out. But that means no more verbal combat. Prize gets rolled over to next week, and it's even bloodier. All right. Then we have, last but not least, the chat wars. I know you guys like punching each other down there. All right. If you want to make someone shut up for 5 minutes, it's $5. All right. If you want to make one of the mods shut up for 5 minutes, it's 10. Except you cannot do it to my wife because I'm the only one allowed to give my wife a timeout. All right. So she's off limits for the mod timeouts. Sorry, not sorry. All right. This is your moves list. Everybody go ahead and take your photo. All right. Choose your move, type the number in the chat, pay the price, and you get your attack. All right. It's that simple. Now listen. I know some of you have been getting smarter now and getting that link early because I told you it's the same link every time. All right. It's the same link every time. Also, you guys will see the moves going. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Whoops, my bad. Boom. You will see the moves going across like this. I do have to put that to must join by 1:30 a.m. instead. Just because tonight we started old-fashioned time. We started old-fashioned time tonight. I see the back is piling up there. Okay. Give a minute to see everybody trickling in. Give a second. Everyone trickles in here. We might get a full panel right away, right? That happens sometimes. So, I got some spicy topics for us tonight, guys. Some spicy ones. Okay. Everyone's waiting to see who's joining. Listen, I'm going to say this one time. Join early. Because if you don't, you're probably going to be waiting. All right? Just saying. That's how it goes every time. It's people always upset about how long they wait. But I give you the same warning every time. Right? You want to be the cool guy that doesn't show up early? You're going to be the cool guy that waits, all right? It'll be the cool guy that fucking waits. All right, let's bring up these fighters.
This is verbal combat. Brutality. Get over here. You will never win. This is verbal combat.
Hey everyone, God bless.
Oh shit, I was muted, of course. I gotta do it at least once. Rev Russ, welcome to the show.
Great picture.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Premonition, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Zill Zone, welcome to the show.
What's going on, sucker?
Welcome, welcome.
What's up,
Daniel,
what's up?
welcome to the show.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
And Johnny McVito, welcome to the show.
What's going on, Speak? What's up,
Let's
everybody?
fucking go. Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody's Friday?
Good.
Going good on my end.
Trying to get out of work.
Trying to get out of work? That's nice.
Oh, some dude's expensive, like $10,000 Rolex. I don't know why he bought it for that much, but he's fucking blaming me of taking it from him.
Why are you stealing, bro?
Why would you why would you buy a fucking Rolex for $10,000 unless you're just trying to fucking flaunt that shit and be like, oh, I'm bougier than you.
Have the money, right?
That's what that's what usually what the response is, because I fucking can.
Stupid person, though.
All right. So tonight is wild card night. And sometimes just sometimes on a wild card night, I'll ask the first people to come up if they have something like really spicy, a really spicy take that they want to try and pose to the panel here. Don't worry if you don't. If you guys don't, I got lots here. I like to do this sometimes on a wild card night because sometimes there's like something someone's been like itching to argue.
Yeah, I don't have much spice. Not very spicy. No, you guys did.
JS says he'll be up in 10 minutes. Okay. None of you boys have any spicy takes?
I know Zill's a spicy boy. Oh, that's crazy.
You want to get some spice tonight? Be like, Carmelo Anthony was innocent.
There you go. That's the one.
Well, actually,
Austin Metcalf tackled him.
I think that's like, I think it's when you do that kind of topic, it's more that's so like vague where a lot of people will, most people are gonna be like, no, because of all the shit that's going on. But let's do a different one. One of the ones I have
that might be
ready
better
for tonight that's based on the Austin Metcalf situation. We're always saying Carmelo Anthony, but it's the victim is the one that should be remembered. But in my opinion, anyways, is being afraid enough to justify deadly force?
If you're afraid for your life and you're cornered, yes. Absolutely.
I'm gonna say
I agree with that. I
think how afraid you are matters here, because you're afraid for your life. That's different.
Okay,
You
so
know?
what if you're afraid of clowns? Are you morally justified in killing a clown?
Boom.
Well, it depends on if the clown lives in a sewer or not. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
a
would
red
say
herring.
being afraid isn't enough to justify deadly force.
Yeah,
I
That's
mean, this
absurd.
is like,
exactly.
if you got me back
Because you could be
into
afraid of
porn.
just about anything, right? Say somebody has a phobia of buttons, and they run into somebody with a
Phobias
button
are
shirt. Are they
irrational fears.
justified?
These are terrible
But it's
analogies.
still a fear. It's a fear, right?
Those
They're
analogies
afraid
are
of something,
awful
and
though.
that could trigger them into violence. But is it justified? That's the question.
Yeah.
No, of course you could be in fear of your life in reasonable circumstances. For example, somebody's got a gun drawn on you or something like that. Then yes, then that's justified. But just simply being afraid isn't enough. There's got to be what do they call it? Extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
A catalyst. It's got to be a catalyst.
Well, that it's all about the conditions too. I mean, it's you can be like we were saying, you can be afraid of anything, and then you may mock like, oh, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like those are nonsensical arguments. But I mean, if someone's in a situation where like, yeah, even if they got they got attacked at a circus by a clown or whatever, and now they have an irrational fear of clowns just because of something that happened to them, they still had that experience.
Wait, what is this for? Spartacus. It looks like it's for a 1v1, but who? Who Rev versus who?
Oh, talking about fear, guys. I'm afraid of everything. So
yeah.
So yeah, you probably don't want to get out in front of me.
Run you over with a car or
pew pew,
smack us with a cane.
No, I'll just overwatch you. I'll pew pew you. That's all. It'll
Spartacus has to wait 5 minutes. Okay, well then.
This is verbal combat. Brutality. Get over here. You will never win. This is verbal combat.
Even Lord, welcome to the show.
What's up, Evan?
Well, oh, I think you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Not on StreamYard, your mic. Yeah.
Hello?
There he is.
Ah, good.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing good.
I hope you're doing good
Yo,
as well.
yo.
Welcome in. What do you think of our current topic since Spartacus has to wait on his timeout? Is being afraid enough to justify deadly force?
I wouldn't say on its own. Like, even on your own personal property, like if someone's dog kind of like gets onto your property, you can't just kill it because you're like, I hate pit bulls. They have a nasty, reputation online. Because that is, like, that isn't justification enough. Like, that the person has a right to be like, hey, my dog didn't do anything wrong. It was just in your property for just a little bit. And
I'll
it
make a
doesn't make
correction.
sense.
No, you're right. My fear thing only includes human-related stuff, really, or falling off a cliff type stuff. But no, animals are exempt, as are children, unless they're maniacs.
Well, where's everyone else stand? Why is everyone else so quiet? What's going on?
Oh yeah, I already said no earlier. I mean, because you're talking about justifying deadly force. Usually, an equal force or measure has to be made or met with that. Like, hey, I was getting threatened. My life was getting threatened, so I responded in kind. I did everything I could to defuse that situation.
Then to ask what you guys are saying then is like there has to be a physical, like they have to like literally say the words.
I was saying, even if someone says I'm
more
going to kill
conditional,
you,
in my opinion.
I wouldn't say deadly force is needed. Just like a force to go and hold them back is good, but not deadly force. Like something to cripple them or to push them back.
Well, that depends. I can't hold anybody back. If I am in now, and again, I'm not going to just go up and overwatch all you guys, but in a situation like for a female, if it's deadly force and she can do something about it in the 2 seconds she might have, she needs to. Men are a different story. You guys all gauge danger actually due to your sizes and your skill levels. Females have a different.
Well, it doesn't have to necessarily be a a sex thing. It's purely conditional. It's
Yeah, no, I'm just.
I said that too. It is conditional.
So does that mean everyone on the panel is not for stand your ground?
I am for stand your ground.
I am. I am.
Well,
stand your ground's a little different than justifying deadly force just by fear alone. So most of your deadly force laws basically say that deadly force is justified when the actor reasonably believes that there is an immediate necessary need to protect themselves from another's unlawful deadly force. So if you're being attacked or somebody threatens your life, then yes, you can stand your ground and use deadly force lawfully. But like the examples I gave earlier, if you have a phobia of buttons, you can't just kill somebody who's wearing a button up. You know what I mean?
So then are we talking about irrational fears or fear? Because phobia is irrational fear.
We're
I
talking
mean,
about
I'd
the
say
highly
deadly force
subjective.
is supposed to answer a deadly threat.
Yeah,
right?
we're talking about highly subjective.
So you have to be
fear,
in immediate
afraid.
danger to use deadly force.
I think if you have irrational fears enough where you're going to use deadly force like a pew pew on someone and you're not mentally stable enough to have that, you should not have that. Okay? All right then.
Well, for example, you're walking down a dark alley, bad part of town, somebody else is walking up the other end. You're immediately afraid. Are you then justified in shooting that person even though they haven't approached you or said anything?
We have a 1v1.
Time for 1v1.
All right. Let's go. Rev versus Zill. Let's find a topic for you. Or where are you guys on this topic? Are you guys on the same side here for
I think you were saying it was pretty situational, kind of similar to me. I don't know if we can go fully oppositional on that.
Okay. Let me see here.
Are you a Christian nationalist, Rev?
Christian nationalist. Well, that has a lot of definitions and meaning these days. I think that's entirely subjective.
I'm trying
I'm
to
a
find
Christian,
something we would disagree on.
and I'm an American, and I'm patriotic to an extent.
Well, that's different from being a Christian nationalist, but okay.
Okay, let me see here. Let me bring up my list. I have a new list I've been working on with some different ones. Government should enforce virtue.
Government should enforce virtue. I would say, how would government enforce virtue?
I would say
Okay, how about this then? Or what would you say, Zill? Maybe he'll think the opposite of you.
Okay, do you think do you think the government should help people behave? Is that it? I don't know,
Well,
because
I
like we're
don't
talking
think
about.
forcing
how about this
somebody's
then?
hand to behave makes that person virtuous, right?
How about this one then? Freedom should never be sacrificed, even for national survival.
I mean, if you sacrifice freedom, then what nation's really going to survive?
This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. I'm trying here. I'm trying to think. I can't come up with anything oppositional here.
Wait, well, it's yes or no for the prompt.
Okay.
That's a hard no for me. Freedom should never be sacrificed. So, well, I would say yes to that. Yeah, freedom should never be sacrificed, even for national survival.
I'm more yes on that than no. So.
Okay. What about this? Assimilation should be enforced.
All right. I
I
say
would say to a
no.
degree.
Wait, sorry. Say that again? You both answered at the same time.
I
Rev,
said no, and I think that Rev said yes. Is that what happened?
I think so. Rev,
Yeah,
did you
to
say
a
yes?
degree.
All right, then we got something. We'll go on that. I'll go on that.
All right. I like it. So, chat, this is how this goes. All right. This goes to 5 minutes to start. All right. If you want to add on a minute, it is $10 to add a minute. It is $60 if you want to be the solo judge. And if we don't get a solo judge, it goes to the chat poll, and the loser of the poll will lose their soul. Fighters. Oh, wait. Let me get you your timer. Hold up. Sorry. I apologize. Today's been fitting, trying to fit 48 hours into 24 doesn't really work. Here, let me get you your timer up here. But chat, how's my camera looking? Looks better or what? That's all that matters. The connection's a lot better, so I was having issues.
Yep,
All
it
right.
is much better.
Perfect. So again, chat, going to 5 minutes, $10 to add a minute, $60 to solo judge. And if we don't get a solo judge, it goes to the chat poll, and the loser of the poll will lose their soul. Fighters, good luck to both of you. Let's get it.
Okay, since I'm taking the affirmative, I'll go ahead and start. I'd say yes, assimilation should be enforced if we mean civic assimilation. For example, obeying the laws, learning the common language enough to function, respecting the constitutional order of things, rejecting hostile foreign legal systems, or, for example, like espionage. And of course, embracing basic duties of citizenship. But I would say that I draw the hard line at total cultural erasure. The government shouldn't police what food people cook, what accents they have, what harmless traditions they keep, or what language they speak at the dinner table. And that's where I draw the line. I say civic assimilation is a necessity. Beyond that, it's government overreach. What say you?
Okay, that's interesting. Beyond that's government overreach. As far as assimilation, I think that people coming into specifically America or a country that accepts immigrants should encourage immigrants to learn about the culture and become part of the culture. That would be assimilating. But as far as enforcing it, that's where I'm gonna hold the no on, because enforcing that, I'm not sure what that could exactly look like, and I
Well,
might have
a part
issues
of
with that.
assimilation is obeying the laws. Should we not enforce the law?
Well, assimilation can encompass more than just
Or
obeying the
even
law.
civil order, for that matter.
Well,
And
we can be talking about culture as well, right? So like
well,
this whole
yeah.
only speak English thing, that's a, you know, that's not really a thing in America until Trump decided he wanted to, you know, cupcake to the racists and say, you know, English is the official language of America. So
Well,
America
I
is a
would have
nation of
to.
immigrants, right?
Yes, but I would have to ask, can a nation remain a nation if newcomers are allowed to live permanently as separate peoples under separate moral loyalties, separate laws, separate languages, and separate civic identities? Is it really one nation?
So we'll need to separate assimilation as far as following laws from assimilating to culture. That's what we need to separate here. So
And there are some levels of cultural assimilation in America.
Okay.
For example, if you're from Britain, you're used to driving on the left side of the road. So
You
if
better
somebody moves here
assimilate
to
to
the
the right.
United States, are they going to assimilate and drive on the right side of the road, or are they going to be like, nah, you know what? I'm British. I'm going to keep doing the British thing. I'm on the
Okay.
left side of the road. Get out of my way, you
Well,
bloody
how would
wankers.
we categorize that? That's a part of society. That's more than a
Well,
part of society. That's how
here's
you drive on the
another
road.
social norm. In some
Is that
societies,
a
it's normal
social?
for women to walk around without their tops on, and in other societies, they walk around completely nude. Should we allow them to assimilate that into our Western society? Can you imagine walking into Walmart and seeing like 10 people just walking around in their birthday suits?
No, it's no shoes, no shirt, no service. You know,
Aha,
people
so they
have a
do have
right
to
to refuse.
assimilate culturally because there are some cultures, for example, Japan, you enter into a building, you take your shoes off. So should Japanese Americans be allowed to just kick their shoes off at the door of Walmart and stroll on in
Yeah,
barefoot?
yeah, but I don't think I don't think many cultures in the world would accept the birthday suits in the grocery store thing. You know what I mean? I don't
Well,
think that's really
there are
I
some
don't
tribes in Africa and in South America
you know,
that do walk around in their birthday
but
suits.
does
There's
that
nudist colonies as well, and we have to keep them separated from society because, because they have to assimilate. If they want to come to Walmart, they have to put on their clothes. So therefore, they have to assimilate to society.
So should assimilation be enforced? Clearly, there's levels to this,
And we can even
and
we can even go into the language barriers as well. When somebody migrates to the United States, they ought to learn English, at least enough to read it so they can understand road signs, so they can understand signs on doors. Some doors say exit only. Some doors say caution, don't enter.
It would behoove them to
They're
do
going to
that.
have to assimilate to some degree,
All right, we're up.
right, to even
5
work.
minutes.
I'll let it get to 6 minutes, see if we have a solo judge.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for talking with me on that, Rev.
gas.
Oh, no problem. I'm a big fan of the
I'm on the
board.
camera.
Resistance
Holy shit,
is
I didn't know you brought me
futile. You will be assimilated.
This guy's a psycho.
You see, the Queen should have just sent me to talk to Picard.
I never got an intro.
You'll live. You don't need your intro.
JS needs an intro.
Russ,
Give
that was
man
the
an
best
intro.
I've ever heard you debate, and you didn't bring up the Bible one time. You just blew my mind.
Did I?
Yeah, that was
Well,
awesome.
thank you, JS. It means a lot, brother.
Heck yeah.
You did well, Rev. I just want to know what that enforcement looks like. Is it foot on the neck or handcuffs on the wrist, or what does it look like, bud?
It could be a ticket.
Hell yeah.
Well, it depends on the police officer, right?
Maybe. I think I should have talked about that during the 5 minutes of what your enforcement looks like there, buddy.
Why?
Yes, you
It's
could
not
have
a
got
good
like enforcement, but it would have been anything from jailing, anything from like
Look at this
civil
guy. He
infraction
wants to jail people for
going to
not
jail.
All right,
speaking
hold up,
Spanish.
real quick. So chat, this is how it's gonna go. All right, Rumble as well. Pay attention. All right, if you would like to vote for Rev Russ, you're gonna be putting a 1 in the chat when the poll goes live. Okay, you're gonna be putting a 1. Where we go? Here we go. If you want to vote for Rev Russ, you're gonna be putting a 1 in the chat. Okay, and if you want to vote for Zill Zone, you're gonna be putting a 2 in the chat. Okay, so chat, the poll is up. I'm starting that timer. 1 for Rev Russ, 2 for Zill Zone. Get your votes in right now. You on Rumble as well. Get those votes in.
Yeah. Bill, I think you would have done all right if you had made the point of the larger. Is assimilation the larger group taking in the smaller group, and the smaller group taking all the habits and laws and stuff of the larger group?
It's the immigrant coming into the outsider coming into the bigger group.
Yeah. So the
And one
larger
thing-
group has the standards and stuff, right?
Yeah, are you trying to say we should not enforce a larger group having to assimilate to a smaller group?
Seems like that's what we're doing now.
Good point. That would have been a good point. What level of enforcement question is not a good point because it could be a ticket that would still be enforcement.
That's why I was saying anything from a civil infraction up to jail, depending on the offense. For example, if you come to the United States, you don't know how to speak the language, can't read road signs, don't know how to drive in America, California gives you a CDL for no other reason than you being a migrant, and then you try to bust a U-turn in a 16-wheeler on a busy freeway and end up killing people. Yeah, at that point, you're going to jail, buddy, for a very
30
long time.
seconds to vote, chat. 30 seconds to vote. 1 for Rev Russ, 2 for Zill Zone. Get your votes in.
So
Yeah,
I think
those
you made
16
an argument on
the
the
16
assumption here is that the country you're going to is superior and should be assimilated to. Like, if you're a Nazi Germany, should you assimilate to Nazi Germany?
There's an old saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, because all throughout human history, no matter what civilization, kingdom, or empire you roll up on, if you don't assimilate in one way or another, it's going to be very rough for you, especially in days of old.
I distinctly remember one guy that refused to assimilate to Roman culture, and he ended up on a cross, and we talk about him 2,000 years later.
Real quick, we got our votes locked in. That's 2 minutes on the clock. And let me look over here. We have a big 84% of the votes going to Rev Russ, making Rev Russ the winner of the 1v1. There was 27 votes for Rev Russ and 5 for Zill Zone. Zill Zone, tell everybody in the chat where we can find you and why they got to bring you back for another shot at the $1,200 prize.
All right, everybody. You can find me on panels. You can find me in this verbal combat. You can find me on Jack Talcott. Maybe I'll start a stream and slap y'all around sometime. Have a good one.
Always a pleasure having you. If they bring you back, you're more than welcome. And until then, my friend.
Your soul is mine. Fatality.
Another soul added to the Safe of Souls. And that's how it goes on Verbal Combat Friday, baby. And by the way, Kim, welcome to the show. Tiny, you fucked up what I was doing.
JS wanted one of those.
How are you?
Tiny fucked up what I was doing. JS, welcome to the show because you didn't get your intro.
Oh shit!
Woo, JS, yes.
Everyone blame Tiny. It's okay.
All right. What is she, the new Mr. L?
She's pretty, so she's forgiven. It's okay.
Yeah, Mrs. L. Mrs. L. We'll call her.
Okay. Mrs. L or Miss L?
Wow, I get forgotten about again?
What? You didn't get your intro either?
No. I showed up same time as JS.
Bruh.
I'm not really trying to find them. I'm saying, keep an eye
Get over here!
We saw them there earlier, and then they left.
You will never
This is verbal combat.
Political Shankfest. Welcome to the show.
How's it going? I'm happy to be here. I have not had my fun.
Let's fucking go. I see you put the title Caesar. Caesar.
I think that was from the last time I was on the panel.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Okay.
I like it. I'm keeping it.
I like it. So, before we end up getting another 1v1, I am kind of curious where, because I brought this topic up, right? And it seemed like everyone was like, no. But then I asked, like, so does that mean you're all like against stand your ground? And then you also said no. So I'm just curious. It's never afraid. Like,
yeah, if a fucking bear's running at me, I'm gonna blast his ass. If I'm
I think
afraid, I
fear-
can definitely kill something.
Fear in an isolated point is not sufficient.
Your life is
More
threatened,
than-
so you're matching it in kind.
I mean, the bear hasn't attacked me yet. I'm just afraid.
It does.
You said it's coming. I thought you said like it's rushing at you. You're gonna blast it. Now, if it's just sitting there, I mean, are you hunting?
It's coming right
I'm
for
not.
us.
If it's just sitting there, I'm not afraid.
Yeah,
well,
you said you're not afraid.
I might want to pet that dog.
Backing away slowly.
What if John Cena was about to punch your face?
You guys are minimalizing fear. Fear could be like really scary.
Okay,
no. I'm not really afraid of John Cena punching me in the face. I hear he's got very soft work punches. So
I mean, it's not like he can kick like Conor McGregor.
That's kind of the question I wanted to get to with this is like, because like Nasty is saying afraid is too ambiguous and is the fear reasonable? I get these critiques 100%, but the only reason I'm bringing it up is because that's the point. Afraid is too ambiguous, but that's the language we use, the fear of your life when it comes to stand your ground.
Yeah, legally, the language should be made more specific.
I support stand your ground, rightly understood. I just reject turning stand your ground into, oh, I was scared, so I get to kill. That's kind of like, you know, it's situational. Like I was explaining earlier, somebody with a phobia isn't justified in using deadly force just because they're scared of a clown or they're scared of buttons.
No joke. I was
or
literally
something
use that
goofy.
because I am scared of clowns.
Like, what if I just give you guys a scenario and you guys can debate if this is okay? I'm walking up to JS. He doesn't know me, and I'm walking up to him, staring him in his face. Does that and he's genuinely worried about what I'm about to do? Does that justify him?
No.
I'm not saying you would be. I'm saying this hypothetical.
No.
All right.
No.
No, it would justify
and you're
self-defense, but it doesn't.
the guy who
Self-defense
you're
isn't always
Dinklage.
lethal force.
Do you have a gun?
1 second. In this hypothetical, I'm Brock Lesnar, and you're that Peter Dinklage or whoever, that dwarf dude that plays on the fucking in the movies.
Yeah. Peter Dinklage, you're right.
All right, so I'm Brock Lesnar, you're Peter Dinklage, and I'm walking at you like this, staring at you in your faces.
Oh, I take you on, dude. I got the low center of gravity. I'd shoot for the hips.
No, but be honest, is that in that scenario, does the Peter Dinklage dude have justified for deadly force?
No, because he doesn't have reason to be afraid enough. Like, he shouldn't assume that Brock Lesnar's just going to kill him because he's walking up to him angrily. But if Brock Lesnar, or if you had a gun,
I mean, if that's the,
and you were
if
walking
that's the
at me
case,
aggressively,
man, midgets would be killing everybody.
and then I pull a gun and I say, hey, stop, or stop, back up. Hey, back up. Why are you coming at me like that? By that time, I'm so afraid that you're actually going to do, you still haven't done anything yet, but bomb first. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait to get shot.
Imminent,
right?
There has to be a concept of like immediate danger. Like you're cocking for a punch, you're pulling something out of your waistband. It can't just be an approach. It has to be some sort of thing that you can articulate that could be perceived as an immediate threat to your life.
But
until but
the American
in the situation of Carmelo and Anthony. So apparently he felt threatened because the white kid put his hands on him and pushed him. So does that justify his deadly force that he used?
That was
I don't
just
think so.
what was
No.
said.
And that's why we all said no. Well, I know some people were like, oh, yes, if you are afraid, you should be able to. That was how it seemed like it opened up anyway, with Colby saying yes.
All right, well.
We got a 1v1 request.
Time for 1v1.
All right.
Time to test my stupidity against Shankfest.
And Daniel. All right, let's find you guys a topic, shall we?
Can't wait.
Let me see.
Make it a spicy one.
Oh. Let me ask you guys this question, and maybe you could debate the context of the content of this. Which is because I think you're both for the death penalty. Am I mistaken here?
I'm for it.
I'm against it.
Oh, okay. I'm mistaken there. Okay.
But I can't debate that shit.
No. It's okay. I was gonna bring up something else, but you would have to both be for the death penalty for it to make sense. So how about this? How about this? National security justifies almost all immoral acts.
No.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
How about we ought give up freedom to preserve our culture?
No.
Did you both say it?
Yeah.
Both said no.
Yeah. Okay. Let me bring up my other spice list because these ones are more left versus right ones. How about? No, I don't want to go that far back. Should birthright citizenship be abolished?
Absolutely.
No.
You said no?
I say that because I'm a birthright citizen.
So you don't think it should be abolished?
Not in America. I don't know where else it is.
All right, so you down to debate that one?
I mean, I guess.
All right. So let me bring that one into the prompts here. I was trying not to load them up because I didn't want to load up too many. Should birthright citizenship be abolished? Shankfest says yes. Daniel says no. So chat, let me remind you how this goes. We are going to 5 minutes to start. Okay. If you want to add on a minute, it is $10 to add on a minute. It is $60 if you want a solo judge. And if we don't get a solo judge, it goes to the chat poll, and the loser of the poll will lose their soul. Fighters, good luck to the both of you. Let's get it.
So I'd like to start with the fact that in your own statement, you just said it shouldn't be abolished in America. And then you said in other countries, I guess it could be. So like you're off.
I just said I don't know which other countries there it is.
Yeah, but you immediately presume the fact that in general, birthright citizenship should not happen. And it's only in the U.S. specifically where it should be. And I think that it's not a big leap to go from not having it in the rest of the world to not having it in America too. Because
yeah, that
just
is
because
true.
you're born on a set of soil doesn't make you an American. Just like if I was born in Britain because my dad was deployed there, that wouldn't make me British.
Yeah, I know.
So why should we birthright citizenship? It should be abolished.
Do you think it should be abolished worldwide?
Yes, I don't think that your allegiance to a country is dependent upon what set of ground you're born on. It depends on your parents' ancestry, who your parents were loyal to, where your parents grew up, what nation your parents belong to is the nation you belong to.
So then if my parents did grow up here in America, does that mean that I should be an American?
Were your parents American citizens?
Yes.
Then yeah, that wouldn't be birthright citizenship. That would be you're born to Americans.
Like I have like great grand parents that are like from Ecuador, but I'm Ecuadorian by DNA or genetics and such. Definitely not through nationality.
I mean, yeah, I'm part Aztec through genes. That doesn't make me an Aztec.
Yeah, I've never actually even been out of America anyway. So to call myself anything but an American would kind of be foolhardy, in my opinion.
You might have grown up in America, but the question is not whether or not you were born here and lived here. It's who do you owe your allegiance to? At what nation do you owe your allegiance to? Like, if your parents were called back to, if your parents American or are they not American?
No, definitely.
They're American?
Yep.
Well, then that would make you American by definition because your parents owe allegiance to America and they had you. It doesn't matter. Like, if you were born in a different country, you would still be American by that same logic.
So by this standard, should it be similar in most countries? If you're going to be having birthright citizenship, should it be in the form of whether or not your actual parents owe allegiance to said country?
Yeah,
and
that's
if
how it is.
any country wants to change their fucking policies, they can because they're their own country. But yes, birthright citizenship through countries that have that policy and obviously the things that we had talked about.
So did you just ask if all other countries, kids born to those parents should be loyal to their countries, not to wherever they might have been born? Was that what you said?
Oh no, I'm saying that I mean, do you mean like if my parents were born in America, but they brought me over to, or came over to China and banged me, or banged me. That's stupid. Sorry, I got dyslexia. No, if they banged there in China, I wouldn't be Chinese, would I? I don't know. That's hard to say.
Yeah, you wouldn't be. That according to Chinese law, you would not be a Chinese citizen.
Oh,
According
of course
to
not in
anywhere, you
Chinese
wouldn't
law.
be a citizen.
Yeah.
I think America is literally the only country in the world where you can just be born here to any person and be considered American. Like common example often given is, what if a Chinese couple comes to America, gives birth to, their child, and then flies back to China for 20 years or 30 years, and then that person comes here, he's technically a birthright American citizen. Does he have the right to run for president?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so by any metric any reasonable person looks at, birthright citizenship should be abolished because it allows these weird loopholes that make absolutely no sense.
This
It's one
is
thing if you immigrate to a country.
This is sensical. I was speaking definitely from a point of bias since I am a birthright citizen to this country.
Well, you just said
like if you can bring an immigrant, yeah. But if you're like an immigrant, technically,
well, if you
born
immigrate to a
immigrant
country,
families.
if you immigrate to a country and then like take a citizenship and choose to become a citizen in that country, that's you or your
Yeah.
parents literally choosing to become
I'll let
loyal
it
to
get
that
to
nation. So that makes you an American citizen.
I'll let it get to 6 minutes and 30 seconds. See if we have a
I
solo.
can go to Canada right now, get dual citizenship, become the new guy who makes Canada fail.
There's
I
no
just
shortage
can't be that guy.
fail.
If
And that
two
would be an abuse
citizens,
maybe of Canadian immigration policy, but that's still, that's a different question entirely. That's not birthright citizenship. Like, I think dual citizenship should be outlawed in America. You should be loyal to America or some other country. You shouldn't be American and Israeli or American and Canadian or American and British or American and Afghanistan.
What about tri-citizenship like Steve-O?
Nope.
America,
You get to pick one country.
Canada, and Australia, basically.
How about this? You can have American and Canadian citizenship after America conquers Canada and we annex them.
I don't think that's a good idea. Canada becomes a giant New York, California.
Oh,
I wasn't saying to give them voting rights.
That's a really good point, Jay. Yes, that's exactly what it would
is
be
a
right now.
huge good point.
You gotta let me save Canada before we join them together, all right, guys? Just
I looked all over the
give me
fucking
a
map.
couple
I
more
couldn't
years.
find
All right?
Canada.
But
I just want Alberta.
That is 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so no solo judge. Chat, listen up. All right, this is how it's gonna go when the poll's active. And same with you guys over there on Rumble. When the poll's active, you're going to be putting, if you want to vote for this man right here, Political Shankfest, you're going to be putting a 1 in the chat. All right. And if you want to vote for this man right here, Daniel, you're going to be putting a 2 in the chat. All right. So the poll is active, chat. Like I said, 1 for Political Shankfest, 2 for Daniel. Get your votes in. I'm starting that timer up. You got 2 minutes, chat.
Is that birthright citizenship when two citizens have a child that by birth that child is a citizen of the country? No,
Birthright
that's
citizenship.
I know currently the laws are birthright citizenship. Part of it is you could drop a baby on the soil, and it becomes, if we could get rid of that, but keep because I think that's also what Daniel was saying is part of birthright citizenship, that you're a citizen by birth if your parents are citizens. So we wouldn't want to abolish birthright citizenship. We just want to get rid of that stupid clause about the dirt.
The magic dirt is the unique part about American birthright citizenship. If we change it, whatever we would change, that is a base part of any other country's citizenship process, by and large.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone refer to birthright citizenship as you become the citizen of the same nation your parents are citizen to.
Well, what would that be called? Because I was thinking, does birthright citizenship encompass
Well,
what
do we
Daniel
have
was
to earn
talking
our
about. Two citizens
citizenship?
have a kid.
Do we have to earn our citizenship, or do we inherit it from our parents if our parents are United States citizens?
That's a different question entirely.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go and.
Yeah, you're right.
Daniel went
try to
off into
apply for
other countries and
citizenship.
stuff. You should just pin down on if that is birthright citizenship, you would want to keep that. You wouldn't want to abolish that. The citizen makes a citizen clause. I don't know what that would be called. It sounds like it would be called birthright citizenship.
I know, like the
I think
it's called blood and soil.
Blood and soil is okay. So get rid of blood and soil, or blood and or get rid of the soil part.
That's genealogical citizenship.
Oh,
Okay, so I have
we
a
shouldn't
question.
have that either.
I don't know the answer to this. Like, if someone were to give birth, if I were to give birth in China and my baby would then become a birthright citizen of China, does that mean that the parents also get to stay with the child, or no?
Citizen is about citizenship. So it should just be citizenship. No blood, no genealogy.
In China,
no
it wouldn't be like that. In America, it would be. Like
Okay,
I
was kind of just
that's
using
how it
China
is
as
right
an
now, and that's
example.
what they. Well, a lot of people, when they argue this, is that's what they're trying to stop. Is like people, foreigners coming over, having a baby, so now their baby becomes a citizen, so they can now become citizens, right? Because
But it doesn't go the other way.
you have family, if you have
rid.
family in America that is a citizen, it's easier for you to become a citizen.
But it
That's
doesn't work
usually
the other way.
anchor baby. That's what they try to do, right?
Yeah,
they
I like
anchor a
anchor
baby
baby.
here,
That sounds good.
and then they get their way in too.
Yeah, and then the whole family comes. That's
We
why
got-
it's called anchor baby. The whole family. That one
Yeah.
baby,
Yeah.
then the whole family, all of
Yeah,
them.
we gotta stop that.
One by one. Yep.
They all
we
get
got votes locked in here. 71% said the winner of the 1v1 is Political Shankfest. That's 15 votes for Political Shankfest and 6 votes for Daniel. Daniel, tell everybody in the chat where we can find you and why they gotta bring you back for another shot at the $1,200 prize.
Dude, you can find me in a place somewhere deep below the ocean, not breathing. But I might be back. I mean, $90 for a $1,200 prize. That you
Pretty good
said?
deal. Yep. Tonight's
Yeah.
1,200.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see you back.
All right. Well, listen, it's always a pleasure to have you. And if they bring you back, you're more than
Hell
welcome.
yeah.
And until then, my friend.
Bring me back.
Fatality.
Another soul added to the safe of souls. And that's how it goes on Verbal Combat Friday, baby.
I gotta say, you'll find me someplace in the ocean, not breathing. That's dark, man. That is dark.
You just got his soul
know,
taken. All right.
People
get dark.
Yeah,
People get dark when their soul is taken.
Just putting it out there. Everybody thinks it's Pride Month, but it's actually Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So
that's just
sending you a hug, Daniel.
Just because this is a perfect segue. Speaking of
that
dark
is the same
people,
thing.
This is verbal combat.
Brutality.
Get over here. You will never win. This is verbal combat.
Tomahawk, welcome to the show.
Time to talk shit and verbally combat. Yeah, that's the
Let's
best I got.
fucking go. Welcome, welcome.
It's way too hot in here, bro. It's way too hot out here. So
No, it's hot in here too.
After all our tornadoes and freaking funnel clouds, it finally cooled down out here.
Nice.
Give me your
great
cold.
weather all week. Tuesday was like
give me your
99.
cold. I need that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like 15 out right now. Celsius. It's fantastic. I actually have the windows open for a change.
We should all say the hard R. That's how you go viral nowadays.
Recharge?
True.
That one?
Follow the Chud the Builder approach, man.
The hard R.
Words. It's one of my favorite words.
You know what's funny? When people used to say, "Oh, he said the N-word hard R," I used to make fun of it so bad because I'd be like, "What do you mean hard R? What does that even mean?"
I didn't even know
The other version doesn't even have an R. So
Exactly.
Dude, yeah, you know, it could just be N-word with the R, but it's the hard R, right?
Well, because
the hard R implies the soft R.
Sounds that much more dramatic.
No, it's the soft A. The soft A, though.
Yeah, the soft A. That's what they'll say. The soft A.
I hear that's really popular in prison these days.
Spoiler alert, they're the same word, but one is just a more southern accent over time to it.
Yeah,
That's what it is. That's literally what it is. I used to say this to people. I'd be like, you understand the way you guys say that to each other? That's the way it was said to you. Not the other way most of the time. It was
Just
probably
depending
that
on
way.
where you were from. Some places just don't
was-
pronounce their R's.
That was
Wow,
black people trying to take back the word and make it not have any meaning anymore and all that shit that didn't work.
I don't know. I was on an all black panel last night, and they were.
I saw that. I saw that, bro.
That doesn't make sense.
Way to stick it to him, man.
Immediately gonna get
Way to
hit.
stick it to him.
Oh man! All I did was repeat his exact sentence, and I was a racist. So
Yeah, exactly. You know, it always happens. Always happens, by the way, around black people. Always happens.
Shit.
So
I
then,
should know.
but why is that though? Like, if you're trying to take it back and make it so it's not offensive, then how come when someone says it, all of a sudden it's like you just slap someone's mom in the face? Like, I don't understand.
Because black people in recent years, ever since they've been cracked out in the 70s, have gone off the deep end and have not come back.
Nope.
We saw Lyndon B. Johnson write some paper and thought, yeah, that's it. And then forgot everything else existed in America. And we're back to being house slaves.
Thank you
All right. High five, sir.
for being. Yep.
We're gonna stop at Tomahawk.
Hey man, I would love for you guys to finally actually go into the ghettos and actually fix the shit that we refuse to fix for the last like 30 or 40 years. For the few of us that try to call it out, we get crab barreled. Fucking sucks, bro.
Yeah, that would be called gentrification.
Yeah, it would be called gentrification, but
some people don't like that word.
I was going back to the N-word thing. And has anybody here seen the Boondocks episode on that? By the way,
I didn't watch a lot of Boondocks. I liked it,
okay.
but I didn't see a lot of it.
It's okay. There is like a section of there's an episode or like a section of an episode where they go over the differences between the and the You know, there was a white teacher who was confused at why the very much confusion that you guys showed today, like right now, about, you know, what's the difference between ER and like the A in the name in the word. It's like trying to use it, you know, there's the difference between and then so white
boy.
Yes, I wonder what Juicy would have to say about all this.
Who?
Juicy.
Oh, he's
that's white
he's
people.
sleeping.
Did
you guys wild? These white people.
When it comes to our political leaders, what do you guys think of this statement? Character matters more than policy.
Oh, definitely. Look at someone like Thomas Massey, where like his ethics are shown through his actual how he lives his life and how he handles things, as opposed to like someone like Vivek Ramaswamy, who has all the right policies, but you just know in your heart of hearts that he's like a deceitful person that will sell you out as soon as he gets in office. I'd say kind of like that's like the major distinction.
I'm beginning to think that we have, over the past 50, 60 years, have had almost a 100% failure rate on our ability to judge the actual character of the people that are trying to run this country. Because every single time I vote, I don't vote anymore. I stopped recently, but every single time I voted, it's been the wrong. It's gone horribly wrong. So that's my character matters, but they never show you their character. They hide their character.
I want to say
We don't know what their character is. They're lying to us in most cases.
Yeah. I keep getting back to character. I would say policy because it affects more people, but then their policy is going to be based off their character. If
Their
they have
character, and which is them getting rich. That's their character.
I'd say character matters more than policy because corrupt character will eventually corrupt policy.
Yeah, it goes either way. But they're always together in the cart. The character,
together,
the bad character, and the bad policy are always together in the cart.
But one does, like JS said, one does influence the other, and usually you have to have spunk comes before the actual enacting of the character. You kind of when you hear a guy speak, when you hear someone speak, and they capture your heart, that there is more potent in getting people to actually vote for whatever policies you're trying to make than the actual policies you're fielding. Like it helps. It helps.
A good point.
Yeah.
Like Obama.
Most people don't vote with their brain.
Obama was a wonderful orator. He could speak and convince anybody of anything, and was very successful at it. And I'm not taking anything away from him for that.
But what's that have to do with this character? I heard he was a gay crackhead.
That's the point. You can be the most wonderful speaker and just have very bad intentions.
I guess what we're talking about now, JS brings up a good point, but that strays into the arena of, perceived character versus like actual character. You could actually be a gay commie, but if you at least give off the appearance that you're something else that's a little more tactful, your actual character may not matter, but the fake character you show to people is what gets people to vote for your policy. The show,
Okay, what about Trump? Trump's got, I would say, not the best character. Unless we're talking about character, character like what you put out to the world, my character, or my character like my morality.
What you're really going for.
I'm thinking more along the lines of morals.
Yeah,
that's basically what I said. Something that you put out into the world versus whatever you actually deal with. Your on-stream face versus your off-stream face.
I have a good example for that. If you guys know who Jim Jordan is, I think he's a Republican.
I love Jim Jordan. I wish he would run for president. He's probably one of my favorite people in politics.
Me too. Jim Jordan appears and has never wavered on his character. And that's what I'm talking about. You can see the guy, we've been watching him for years, and he's never tripped up his character. He won't run for office. That's probably because he has good character.
Mike Pence has great character. The Pence rule. He's a Mormon, but nice.
Pence didn't create the rule, but he did use it.
He used it, and then we coined it the Pence rule, right? Or was it? Was it called the Pence rule before him? That would be a crazy coincidence.
No, it was something else. I know it was originally something that missionaries used, and it was something that was picked up by.
There's about 3 good ones in there. There's a black guy out of Florida who I really like. He's got the round,
Byron
face.
Donalds.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's got good character, but again, I'm a terrible judge of character. That's why I don't vote anymore, is because I've never gotten it right. But there's maybe 5
Hold on. When you say that you haven't got it right, does that mean that the person that you voted for did get into office and they didn't fulfill what you thought they were going to fulfill?
Or they didn't win.
Yeah, just about my whole life. And I mean, I've switched around. I'm independent, but I've switched around, and you know, and it always blows up in my face, and in all of our faces. So you know, like right now in the war we're in, I didn't vote for that.
But who did you? What? Could it be that just everybody who wins does kind of a shitty job? Everybody's always pissed off.
Yes, absolutely, because
We're always in wars. We're
don't
always
have
got
character.
economy fluctuations and.
Like Jim Jordan, I think Jim Jordan would maintain that character that he's got all the way through because we've seen him for so long. That's who the guy is.
Well, even if it was character, like there's a lot of great examples in politics where people show off god awful character and then they just get away with it and it just gets shoved under the rug like absolutely nothing happened. Like that Graham guy, the guy with the Nazi tattoo that's had it for like what 2 decades now, and he's been a Democrat senator for how long, and he just got exposed for that. And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know it was a Nazi tattoo." It's like, how do you not know that's a Nazi tattoo? And how do you get away with that? That just disappeared. That wasn't even a blip on the news cycle.
Yeah, and Biden didn't know that his like mentor was the Grand Master of the KKK.
We got a big 50 comes in from Zach Gelpy. Thank you very much. Says, in my experience, 90% of politicians are narcissists. They don't have really any good character, but they will stick to certain policies that align with their ideology for the most part, especially if they're pressured to. And Zach, you have 50 credit. So if you want to do any of the moves that we have here for verbal combat, here, I'll put the moves list up for you so you can take a view of that for a minute. But yeah, what do you guys can keep going there if you guys want to comment on what he said, anything.
He's right. And you know that, okay, the Democratic Party is best at lockstep. They never go against the rules. So he's right.
No, they always
until they no longer have any enemies to use their rules on.
They always they always wear their white outfits and they hold up their little signs. And I can't imagine what the whipping room looks like in the back for those who don't, hold their special signs up and stuff like that. So they're more cohesive than the conservative side, who tend to be free thinkers, but they can't coalesce as well because they're not marching in the same direction. They're marching in different directions.
That being said,
sorry.
I said that being said, the flip side of that is the left may coalesce when they have their enemies named. When they no longer have their enemies named, they will eat each other alive.
Yeah, they'll eat each other alive. Yes, they will.
And on the flip side, on the conservative side, the conservatives, when in stasis, may not coalesce with each other a bunch, but when they do, man, they are efficient. They are efficient and organized.
So, in politics, when would character actually matter the most?
When there's like a monarchy or direct control. Otherwise, it doesn't matter much.
When action needs to be taken and there's somebody out there
here's a hypothetical we could play with. A man's elected as president of the United States. He talks a tough game. He's got a really awesome domestic policy. Turns the economy around. It is completely booming. I mean, we're at 90% production. GDP is at an all-time high. But then Russia and China team up and they come knocking on our door.
So it's
and this man
war.
is a coward. And not only is he a coward, but he's also a turncoat.
And he's
So as soon as the enemy comes knocking at the door, he says, "I don't think we can handle this fight." So he takes a bribe and then he sells the country out. Would character matter then more than his policies?
That is his character.
That is his policy, though.
It's both.
So they align. Is all we've said is that his character and his policy align.
They're always in the same card together.
And I think the character precedes the policy, so it's the more important.
What I would say is, like, if you look at Jimmy Carter, he was a pretty decent dude, but he was very weak when it came to like with Iran, he was willing to go. He wasn't willing to back the Shah no matter what. And when he said, "All right, the country can go on its own,"
we got a 1v1 request from Zach coming in using his credit. Rev versus Marge.
Just let me grab a cup of coffee really quick.
Who's got their name? Oh, Kid.
I mean, I don't have the hair. I'm gonna assume maybe it's because of that. I don't know. I look at the Marge.
Time for 1v1.
All right. So that's
awesome.
fine.
Just let me grab a cup of coffee real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me see a topic that'll be good for you too.
Marge who? I don't know who that is. Labarage? Who is that? I'll take Marge Simpson though. But I don't know who this other person is.
Marge Simpson.
Marge Labarage? Labarage? I don't know what that is. I can't laugh or be insulted if you don't know what it is.
Labarge.
Pee-wee's big, like Pee-wee Herman? Pee-wee? Oh Lord. I still don't know who that is, but Jesus.
It's from what? Pee-wee, is it?
Pee-wee Big Adventures?
I think he's right. Yeah.
I don't know. I need to. Oops.
I'm trying to find. Is Rev back yet?
No.
I am back.
Oh, there we go. Now he's back.
Sorry,
All right.
I'm still getting used to the new place. Everything's a maze right now, and we're barely unpacked.
No worries.
I don't know. If you feel if you have to explain it to me, it's not that funny. You got to do better next time, dude.
I'm trying to think of something you guys will actually be on opposite sides of. Yeah, I'm gonna actually go to my other list here. I think I'll find you guys ones in this one.
Mimi, come on now. I don't have fucking blue eyeshadow on.
Or a moo.
Or a moo, exactly. Whatever. At least I know who that is.
Okay, so let me see here. How about do you guys think term limit should apply to the president?
Well, I've done this one before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I can't remember against who, but I've done this one before.
Okay, what about police should be given more power?
Police? Where? If we're talking the UK, yes. If we're talking in Canada or the United States, like in the Americas, I don't know.
Well, it depends on what you mean by power. Do you mean firepower? Do you mean manpower? Do you mean more overreach over our rights?
Whatever more power you think they should have, if you want to take the yes.
Well, we asked Tim Allen. I don't know. What say you, Kim?
I don't know. What else you got?
What about 3 strike laws are necessary?
Can you give me an example? I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about, but just to make sure.
Oh, like you want me to explain to you 3 strikes laws?
Well, like 3 strikes and you're out, right? But in
well, it just means like after a person's convicted of like a third like serious felony, it would mean that like they get like a significantly way bigger sentence, like life
I'd agree with that.
imprisonment, stuff like that.
I would agree with that.
Same here. I'm all for 3 strike.
Right?
Okay. What about public shaming should be used as a punishment? Like as a legal punishment?
Legal punishment. Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. As funny as I would find that, do I actually agree with it?
The only thing I can think of right now is that one scene from Game of Thrones with that lady walking down the street with the bell ringing and going, shame, shame. Like that kind of public shaming. Are we talking about racking people up, throwing tomatoes at them again?
Right? Stoning. I don't know.
Well, stoning's a little extreme. That's not really shaming.
It might be, but the way the leftists are these days, I feel like that would be their version of shame is death.
It could be whatever your mind thinks of, but do you think public shaming?
Hey,
say no.
public shaming should be legal, a legal thing when you're putting the law. No, I mean, I think shame should be brought back. I think in some situations, however, should it be legal? Yeah.
All right. What about
is the purpose of punishment justice or humiliation?
Yeah.
both on the same side here?
Yeah.
Churches should pay taxes.
Nope.
Cults, yes. Churches, no.
Cults, yes. Churches, no. Okay. What about public figures deserve less privacy?
I think, yeah, I'd agree with that.
And do they deserve it?
I don't know,
I'd say it
but
just comes with the territory of being a public figure, right?
They should expect it. I don't know if deserve, but
like if you go to the lake and you jump off the pier, you can expect to get wet. Do they deserve to get wet?
if you go skinny dipping, should you expect people to be looking more than if you're wearing a bathing suit? Yes.
Can you imagine somebody doing a cannonball in the water and then popping up saying, I don't deserve to be wet?
All right. What about minimum wage should be abolished?
I don't.
That's a hard one because I
kind of don't care.
I don't think there should be a federal minimum wage to where the minimum wage can be raised at a whim by policy, but also I don't think there should be an instance to where somebody could say, well, you know what, I hired this guy and I'm paying him $0.25 an hour, and it's.
I think, me personally, I think there should be a quote unquote, I guess, a minimum wage, but at the same time, it's the cost of living that's going up too much. So the minimum wage going up.
You guys are killing me. Listen,
I know.
Yes or no for the prompts, and then we can go to the next one if you don't want it.
Yeah.
Yes or
We just
no.
agree.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, thank you. Taxation is theft.
No.
Hold on. I do agree with that. Can I argue it though? Yeah, sure. Whatever. We'll try it. Or we'll try one more, and then if that's a no, then we'll just go back to this one. What else you got? Be a good one. Come on. Carmelo Anthony should rot in jail. Yes. I'm just kidding.
Is slavery ever morally justified?
No.
I would say no.
Okay, I guess we're going back to taxes. Fuck.
Is
All right,
political violence ever justified?
Nope.
No. Who put us against each other?
What about euthanasia should be legal?
Nope.
No. We live in Canada, remember, Maid? Yeah. No.
How about lying is sometimes morally required?
Yes.
Be hard for me to take a no with that one, but I could take the negative on that.
Wait, I don't know what your answer is. Which one?
Oh, me? Yeah, I can take the negative on that one.
You
Why your
can take
taxes?
the negative, or you want to take the negative?
Yes. Oh, I can take
Do you
the
want to do
negative
the
with
lying
this
or
one.
do you want to go back to taxes?
Monogamy is unnatural.
What's the difference?
No, move on. Monogamy is unnatural.
No, it's not unnatural.
I would say the same.
You say the same? Anonymous online accounts should be banned.
Nope.
No.
Cancel culture is justified.
Nope.
I say no, but I can always take the negative.
I mean, we could have always took the negative 10 of them ago. Let's actually find one now. Specifically, women should not be able to vote.
Agreed.
They don't register for the draft.
See, who put us together? Apparently, we agree on way too many things.
Voting is a right, and right comes with duty.
I agree. Poor Speak. He's like, fuck.
No, I'm gonna get you both to message me your answers instead.
All right.
Don't say them out loud.
How do I message it to you?
The little in the background here, there's the little private chat. You're gonna send it directly to me.
How do I not see a private chat? Is it under the people? That one?
What? What'd you ask me?
I said, is it under the people? Because I don't see something called private chat like I do if I'm streaming.
You don't see private chat at the side there?
No.
Yep, if you go to people, there should be groups, and then underneath groups, private chats. If you clicked into a group like Green Room, it will say Green Room. If so, just hit the arrow next to that, and that'll take you back to the main people pane, and then you'll see group chats and then private chats, and then everybody here listed under private chats. Speakeazy should be at the very top.
Okay.
Now, see, AT&T should hire me instead of
If I got to
outsourcing
use the
that
washroom
service
with
to
you, then
India.
I got you. Okay.
All right. You good? You guys got it?
If you're I got to use the washroom, then yes, I got you.
Objective morality exists.
I'm half retarded. I have to Google this one on.
Of course, you already know my answers, Pete.
I don't know what's happening. Are we getting whipped because you're getting angry? I don't know.
I'm waiting for you to answer.
I did.
No, what did you answer?
It's in the private chat.
Oh my gosh, it didn't pop up here for me at first. Okay.
What you told me to do?
Okay. Okay, sorry. Death penalty. Where you guys stand on it?
Agree.
You're supposed to answer in the back.
Listen, I'm a girl and I'm blonde. Forgive me, okay? Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Here, I'll mute myself this time.
Should freedom be sacrificed for security? Is morality possible without God? Let me see here. Should governments regulate morality? Okay, finally. See, this is why we do it in the back. This is why we do it in the back. There's too many fucking. You guys are.
Hold on. I didn't answer for that one yet. I didn't answer for that one. I didn't. I answered for the last one. I haven't answered for this one yet. I was just Googling it. Hold on.
What are you Googling?
Sorry. I'm retarded. The fucking definition of morality. I want to make sure I got it correctly.
Government regulate morality. I know it's too simple.
Okay, I answered.
Okay, finally. Anyways, so they're on the opposite side of this one. Fuck's sake.
Just for the record, on the strict limits. Just to make sure.
I'm just saying this is what happens, chat. I'm gonna let you all know this is what happens when the prize get big. The devil's advocates all get thrown out the window. Nobody's willing to take the opposite side anymore. So don't expect that when the prize is big. Just letting you know. All right.
No.
Everyone's pussies out here. All right. This is verbal combat, not cuddle combat. Get with the fucking program, folks. All right.
Listen.
Chat. This is going to 6 minutes to start. If you want to add on a minute, it is $10 to add a minute. It is $60 to solo judge. And if we don't get a solo judge, it goes to the chat poll, and the loser of the poll will lose their soul. Fighters, good luck to the both of you. Let's get it.
You kind of went really quiet there at the very end. I'm just gonna say, however,
No problem. I guess I could take the affirmative on this one. I'm not sure what position you took, but I said yes with strict limits. So I would say yes, government should regulate morality because all laws regulate morality in some form, right? But I would also say no, because government shouldn't regulate all morality. The state can't make men holy. It can't regulate the hearts of men, and it can't produce true repentance or police even private sin. For example, well, a man pleasuring himself in his own bedroom. How is the government going to regulate that kind of morality? But I do say that there should be a limit to what the government can do in regards to morality. For example, it's immoral for people to assault each other with no just cause. So the government can regulate that through laws. It's immoral for a man to abuse his wife. So the government has laws and regulations in place to prevent that immoral action. And the list goes on and on. Anything from petty theft to grand larceny are all acts of immorality that we regulate through law enforcement.
To an extent, yes. I mean, we do regulate what is right and wrong through law to a certain extent. However, let's go back a few years to COVID, when the government started mandating a bunch of things because what they thought was right. Was what they were doing, in your opinion?
Well, those are moral objective rights. Those were based on what they called scientific truths. So I think that's kind of like a non sequitur. But also, we experienced a lot of government overreach that shouldn't have happened. And again, like I say, when government should regulate morality, I say yes, but with those strict limits. For example, they can't regulate what you do in the privacy of your own home, but they can regulate what you do in the public sphere. For example, justice, life, property, public order, truth in courts, protection of children, and of course, the punishment of evil. Because God did give the government the sword of the magistrate to punish evil.
Is the government protecting children right now when they're allowing people who are under the age of 18 to literally chop their bits off and decide to identify as something completely different?
Well, that depends on the state that you live in.
Jailing parents because they don't want to identify their child as a completely different sex or allow them to sex change?
Yep, and that's called government overreach. Another non sequitur. Because they're not regulating morality at that point.
You gave the government a bit. You gave the government a hand and you said, okay, we want you to do this. And look what they've done with it. So that's the thing. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. And that's exactly what they've been doing for many, many years.
So what are you suggesting, that the government shouldn't regulate morality at all? And if so, can you explain to me how such a system would work and how such a society would operate?
The government is supposed to be working for the people.
So my mentality.
Quote unquote slaves, if you want to put it in such a blunt term. They should be doing what we are asking them to do. So it should be going to a judgment thing. It should be going to a vote.
Yes, of course. I agree. A government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
There's lots of things that they say that the government, the government put out a poll. I didn't see these polls. Who are they polling?
But does that have to do with regulating morality? For example, in the sense of petty theft, should the government regulate that? That it's immoral to steal, therefore there should be laws against stealing.
Okay. But you are assuming that the government is going to think that petty theft is immoral and not wrong.
Yes, because it's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Therefore, we vote for people who get in office and change the laws according to our moral standards.
Okay, who's the guy in New York right now?
Mondami.
I think he's got a lot more different views than what normal natural born Americans would have.
Yes, but a lot of people in New York also share his views, especially all the illegals that flooded into New York and voted for him. But you see, that's how our system works. And that's why the Christian influence in politics needs to be strong, is because we need to get in there and we need to vote for people who can enforce Christian morals and therefore change laws and regulations to fit the morality of 66% of the U.S. population. And that's what we've done historically. All of the laws on our books, even the way we regulate court proceedings, is all based on Christianity.
They've changed. They've changed, though. Again, look at Mamdani. If all of a sudden he decided that child marriages were allowed, because that's what he believes, and that's what he thinks.
But would
is
that
moral.
would that be nationwide though, or would that just be for the city of New York?
So I'm going to marry a 12-year-old child. Sorry?
Yeah, but would that be for the entire nation, or would that just be for the city of New York? And if he moved to do so, make child marriages legal, how do you think the state of New York would react against? Yes, but see, the government is also self-regulating as well, because it's a government again of the people, for the people, and by the
regulate
people.
morality. It's not saying should the leader of the country regulate morality. It's saying governments. There's different governments. There's provincial governments. There's state governments. So all these governments are deciding different moralities. Abortion is legal in this state. Abortion is illegal in that state. So
here's an example. If you use Mamdani for an example, right?
Okay.
So let's run with that. If Mamdani does make child marriage legal in the city of New York, but the state as a whole opposes it morally, then the state can stop what's going on in the city. The mayor's power is limited. The governor has more reach than the mayor does. Even the attorney general of the state has more reach than the mayor. No, that is not overthrowing. That is a legal maneuver. It's checks and balances.
So then why would you
can't have a mayor come in and get elected mayor of New York and then turn it into Snake Plissken land, Escape from New York. It doesn't work that way.
No, if
so if a mayor starts trying to make stuff legal that's broadly immoral, then the state would then step in and then stop the mayor from doing that immoral
I don't
thing.
want to listen to it. Then you're not actually wanting governments to regulate morality, because you're just going to go against it anyway. So
They
you
have
agree
to
with my
regulate
point. They should
morality.
not regulate morality.
Well, government has to regulate morality.
Okay, but if you're
Otherwise,
gonna
there
go
would be no
against it-
laws.
No,
What
that's not
makes a
true.
law? Yes. What makes a law? Why is there laws on the books? Why is it wrong for somebody to steal? For example, you've got a very beautiful necklace on. What's wrong with me taking that from you? Is it immoral for me to do so?
Yeah, because it's mine.
Yes, exactly.
for it.
So
It's
we
fine.
have laws on the books created by the government to regulate morality. It is immoral for me to steal that necklace from you or to take it from you. Therefore, if I do so, the government has laws in place to where I can be punished for doing that immoral thing.
Okay, but what you may consider immoral doesn't mean that your government is going to consider that immoral. So should
And so I vote for people that will change that and those immoral things. We can even look at abortion, for example. They passed Roe vs. Wade well before I was born, but it was my generation that put a man in office who put other people in office that overturned Roe vs. Wade. You see, that's how it works, because we thought it immoral, therefore we put people in place. We voted with our Christian morals, voted for people who share those Christian morals, and then they put things in place that match our morals. And that's how it's always been. And that's how it will always be. No matter
Some
what
governments
society you
approved
go
of
to.
slavery because they thought it was moral.
Yes, and they regulated it.
Slavery. What about that?
And they regulated it.
And what if your government decided that
Even if
slavery,
you go
let's
to
bring it back.
China, and in China they were
Actually, let's bring it back to
they were
black people,
discarding
white
baby
people
girls,
slaves.
and it was a government policy for
moral?
them to discard baby girls. Therefore, the government was regulating morality. Even if it was an
Is that
immoral
right?
action, the government was still
Should that
regulating
be
it.
okay? Should that be okay? If you lived in China and your wife was giving birth to a baby girl and you wanted a child so bad and they said, no, you're getting a girl first. We want boy first. Their turn, your girl is out. Do you think that's right? Should that be allowed? That's the prompt.
From my
Should
position-
governments regulate morality? If you
Well,
actually
in
wanted
that
a
sense, they
child
are
really
technically
bad, boy
regulating
or girl,
morality.
And the
In
government
fact,
decided that they were going
nowhere
to take
you
your child
go.
away from you because it wasn't the sex that the government wanted.
And the
You
government
would
is
be okay
then
with that.
still regulating morality, even though
And you would
it's
be okay with
immoral.
that.
They would still be regulating it. It doesn't
But you
matter if
would
I'm
be okay
okay
with
with
that.
it
You
at
would be
that
okay
point,
with the government
right?
making the decision whether your baby lives or dies.
No,
You're okay with
that's
that.
why I vote people into place who share my morals.
Okay, well,
that
guess
can
what? There's
change
a
the
lot of
laws to
people
stop
who
those
voted
things from
against
happening.
Trump that hate the fact that Trump is in office right
Okay.
now. But guess what? He is in office. So if you're going to
Yeah.
say that government should be able to regulate
And guess what
morality,
they get to
then
do
guess
4 years after
the
Trump gets in
person-
office?
Okay, but that's your baby's dead already.
Guess what
Your
they get
baby's
to
dead.
do in
Your baby's
midterms?
already dead, though. Because the
Well,
government decided that sex
like
of
I
baby
said.
shouldn't be allowed. So
And
you're
then
saying
maybe
that
I
that should be
should
okay.
then maybe I
That's
should
okay.
have thought ahead and voted for people who would change that policy before I ever thought of procreating.
Okay, but that's not always what happens. And the thing is, people.
Well, it may not be always what happens, but no matter what society you go to on Earth or in human history, government at the end of the day regulates morality, whether it's moral or immoral objectively.
Okay, but do you think that that's okay? Should somebody be in
Yes,
charge
the government
of
should
what?
absolutely regulate
Okay, so
morality.
what you think
Because
might
if
be
government didn't
completely
regulate
immoral.
morality, there would be nothing to stop me from taking that necklace from you.
Okay,
There would be
but if
literally
the
nothing but
government-
you.
if the government said
And therefore,
that
by
that's
force,
okay,
I would be able to take everything.
Bro, if the government said that it's okay for me to come to you and take your house and boot you out on the street because the government said so, you think that's okay? That you'd be
It
like,
doesn't matter.
well, I guess
That's
the government said so.
neither here nor
Should
there.
they
That's a
be-
false
No, it
equivalence.
actually
The
is.
point
because the
is,
prompt
should
is,
government regulate
should
morality?
the government be allowed to do this? Should the
Yes.
government be allowed to
And
allow
with
me to go into
strict
your home
limits,
and
as
boot
I
you out
started
and
in the
take your
beginning.
house? Like,
As I started in the beginning, the
how do you
government
feel
should
like the government should
regulate
be allowed that?
morality with strict limits. There should be strict limits on it. But yes, government should regulate morality. If you say
No.
government shouldn't regulate morality at all, then there would be no laws on the books
That's
that
not
would prevent
true.
me from
People
taking everything
should
you
vote
want.
on the laws, not governments. Governments
And what do
themselves,
people vote
governments
with?
are supposed to work
Exactly.
for us,
Yes,
not
and
the
they
other way
do.
around. So
And they
we
do. We
dictate.
vote for politicians. We vote for policies.
and we
There's
dictate
town
what
halls.
the morality and the
There's
laws
all
should
kinds
be.
of things that we
The
can do
government-
to
you're giving
determine
the
what the
government
laws
way too
are.
much power.
And no,
No.
we're giving the
Allowing them
government
to
the
regulate
power that
morality
we
is
allot
giving
to
them more
them.
power than is
No.
absolutely
The
necessary
government-
for them to
okay.
even have.
Hold on, Kim. I think we're kind of getting past each other here. The way that government regulates morality is through the people. It is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Therefore, we vote for politicians who share our Christian morals, who can pass policies that align with our Christian morals,
Let's just
and in a
hypothetically
sense,
speaking-
then regulating morality. Like I said,
Hypothetically speaking, Tyler, an atheist, becomes president. He decides that child marriages are okay, and you know what? If you want somebody's house, you can go and take it. You think that's okay because he's part of the government. The people
no,
voted
I
for
don't
him.
think
So
that's
I guess
okay.
I
I would
got
vote
my
him out
house.
of office. I would vote
In
against
4
him.
years. You gotta wait
I would
4
rally.
years. So your baby is dead.
Yeah, you could wait
have
4
no
years
home.
unless your party moves to
Come on.
impeach through the House and
Come on,
Senate.
that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
That's
That you're gonna
ridiculous.
sit there and let
That you- that-
the
that you
life
can
of
move
your
to impeach a
potential
president?
child, because this
How many
president
times was
doesn't
Trump
want any
impeached?
female
I mean,
babies.
that seems like a new norm,
They only
right?
want male babies. That you're going to be like, okay, well, I guess my baby boy or my baby girl that I really wanted is going to die. But in 4 years, you know what? I'll vote him out. So it's cool and we can try again. Seriously? That is the dumbest argument I've heard.
All right.
And Rev, I got mad respect for you, but come on.
That was
Real
all
quick.
immoral.
That wasn't my argument, though. That was your straw man of my argument.
Real
It's
quick,
all right,
I'm
I'll let it slide.
gonna put this poll up in a second, chat. So pay attention for a second. Same with all of you in Rumble as well. When the poll is live, if you want to vote for Kim, you're gonna be putting a 1 in the chat, and if you want to vote for Rev Russ, you're gonna be putting a 2 in the chat. So if you want to vote for Rev Russ here, you're putting a 2. Okay. If you want to vote for Kim here, you're putting a 1. Chat, I'm restarting this timer. Wait, let me get to the timer. Restart this
Come on,
timer
guys. I
right
want the
now.
government to have less.
The poll
less
is
control.
live. 1 for Kim, 2 for
I
Rev
want the
Russ.
people to have more control,
minutes.
not the government. Come on.
The people have more control because we vote with our morals, Kim.
I want God to
You'll
have more
see.
control. Rev, shouldn't God regulate morality?
God does regulate morality, and that's why
But
we
what
vote
if-
with our Christian morals.
But what if when the government steps outside of God's bounds? And that's what Kim was trying to say. She had
Yes,
like
when the government
an
steps
argument in there
outside of
somewhere.
bounds, then we vote and we use what tools and instruments that are allowed
So you're
to
going
us
to the
to change
people,
those
and she was going
policies.
to the people.
She had an argument.
Yes.
It's
Well,
not
the
like-
people run the government.
She had an
and
argument there. She just
therefore,
didn't
if
like,
Christians are 66% of the U.S. population, then we kind of regulate morality at scale, right?
Well, for
So
now,
Christians
but then when
voted
the
on
population, I mean, look at what's happened with immigration. I mean, we've already had illegal immigrants. If they start, if the government that has all the power starts passing laws for, say, anyone in the states can vote, which would already be against our morality, then if they do take, say, seize of power, would you still trust the government, say, being led by Muslims or anything like that to uphold the Christian values that we all hold?
The problem with having governments enforce morality is you're presuming that governments are
Can't
moral.
speak up. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah,
Can you
whoever
hear
that
me now?
was, your mic is quiet.
Yes.
You were a little low there.
Sorry about that. The problem with having the government enforce morality is that you're presuming that the government is moral to begin with.
Exactly. Sorry.
But to be fair, with the government being established, and then that's where, on Russ's point, with the government being established, in the American government anyway, being established with Christianity in mind, that's actually setting kind of the baseline for things like, eye for an eye, or you can't take somebody else's shit without, permission or whatever, and trying to create a balance there. I mean, the government itself is kind of a reflection of what you would hope the Bible to be, but with the separation of church and state, I mean, I think that's where the real crux kind of comes into argument,
I'm really surprised
we
that
are 2
most
minutes on the
people
poll.
want the government
we are-
to have control over you.
We are 2 minutes on the poll, and we got 77% of the votes said the winner of the 1v1 is Rev Russ. That's 20 votes for Rev and 6 votes for Kim. So, Kim, tell everybody in the chat where we can find you and why they got to bring you back for another shot at the $1,200 prize.
Well, you got to bring me back because I'm actually voting for you guys, not the government, to take control of us like they have been doing and what they did through COVID and let so many people die. But, whatever. Anyway, but other than that, thank you, Speakeazy. I love being here. You can catch me and my husband every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Rumble, X, and YouTube. We're offended, you're offended. And, bring me back.
Let's
God, come
fucking
on.
go. Always
Reverend,
a
it was
pleasure.
good.
Always a
Just wanted to
pleasure
put it
having
together.
you. And if they bring you back, you're more than welcome. And until then, my friend.
Finisher. Fatality.
Another soul added to the safe of souls. And that's how it goes on Verbal Combat Friday, baby. And let me see here. Okay. I thought we had someone else back there, but I was wrong.
I'm surprised you still don't have like a katana. Like the other version of it would be like having katana having your soul sucked out by Shang Tsung. You had to AI that shit.
Oh, having katana. Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You have one from the actual game, and then you AI the other one. When there are female characters in Mortal Kombat, you could have used.
Yeah, for sure. But I like that one.
Just something.
Original.
Okay.
It's only
OG, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dang, Tomahawk, why you got shit on the process, man? Come on.
Yeah, damn, man.
I'm just pointing it out. You could still do the same thing, but like with Katana instead of like someone else.
Or
Still
Melina
the
or
game.
Tanya or any of them.
Easy's tech-tarded. He didn't make that shit.
That's true.
Something that would be cool is if the former VK champion wins 1v1, they get a fatality video.
Yeah, it would be. I wish I could do that kind of stuff. You know, like that good. But yeah,
I
no,
just
I'm
chuck
not.
my head at somebody and cut their head off and stuff.
I'm okay at
Fatality
editing
screen.
videos, but you know, making a whole video like that, nah.
Hey, just saying. It's
Hey,
cool.
You
as
don't, you don't
is.
have to edit them. Just
just-
straight out steal them. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully they don't copyright you or nothing. But
I'll
dude, like that.
I'll find somebody to make some more for me.
Get a giant green screen, and while you're all down in Texas, have them all.
But Johnny, stealing is immoral, and the government shouldn't regulate morality. So I guess it's fine, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so let me see here what topic I'm gonna bring back onto the panel here for you guys until we get another 1v1. Let me go back up this list because we went through. I wanted to see what does the panel think about, is slavery ever morally justified?
Oh, absolutely, it's morally justified.
Yeah, you could be morally justified with slavery.
No, you can't
I
say
could
it
say-
is morally justified. It can be morally justified.
Is
Slavery is
that's-
not always morally justified.
No, I never said that. Jeez, JS.
Well, he just said it is morally justified.
Oh,
Sure, it can be.
It can be morally
Can
justified.
be morally justified.
well, yeah. If you want to put it in an ultimatum sense, it's like, what if in every scenario for slavery, it's either you're going to be a slave or you're going to die, and it's like,
Thank
well,
you, Buy me a river for the the $10 super chat. I
Did
appreciate
you just
that.
say river with the hard R?
Is slavery ever
With a
morally
soft
justified?
A,
Yes.
This is a soft day. Cry me a
Sometimes.
river.
Sometimes it can be morally
Cry me a
justified.
river.
That's how it's working.
Or servitude as punishment, restitution, or temporary debt service. That
jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Do the peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Now where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Now there you go. There you go.
Thank you for keeping that alive.
hell
Peanut
yeah.
butter jelly.
That's my jam right
I
there.
haven't seen that since I was a child.
peanut butter
Exactly.
jelly, peanut butter jelly.
We
peanut
play
butter
that
jelly
when
and a
we
baseball
make peanut
bat.
butter jelly sandwiches for the kids.
Heck
Not
yeah.
Love that.
We literally play
Love
it.
it.
There's your debate topic: chunky or smooth?
Smooth. I hate
Smooth,
crunching
baby.
on.
So,
Real peanut butter.
is slavery ever morally justified? I just have to give one example. I can give many examples from the Bible and in modern times.
Indentured servitude. Something to pay off a
That's
debt,
not
like
slavery.
like
Yeah,
Russ
You
you
know,
could
in
argue-
America,
that has to be
indentured servitude.
distinguished from man stealing and chattel slavery, though.
Do you know in America, indentured servitude was often more violent than the chattel slavery on the plantations? A lot of the indentured servants, they have letters from them and stuff. This is just wordplay. We're just calling it different things. Oh, these were indentured servants, and these were. There's been times when slavery's been horrible. Some people lock them up in hot boxes in the sun. Some people give them a place to stay and work to do, and then they end up owning the plantation 4 generations later. That's the modern example of where slavery was morally justified. We saved African American people. Maybe it was a mistake, but we saved African American people from getting their nuts chopped off by a bunch of people in the Middle East or working rice fields until they died in the Asian places.
in
But
North
to be
Africa.
Yeah, well,
Or
JS, at
sugar
that point, you could
canes
just
in,
sub the word
Brazil.
slavery for employment.
Yeah.
You could.
Not a wage slave.
I'm a wage slave. I'm a slave to my landlord. I'm a slave to taxes. I'm a
Unless
sla-
you're the CEO,
I'm a
you are
slave to
always-
God.
This is verbal combat. Brutality. Get over here. You will never win. This is verbal combat.
AVG.
Hey, guys.
Oh.
Hey,
Wow,
Easy.
what's going on?
Gentlemen.
Welcome,
Premonition.
Hello, Paige.
Oh, I was watching your streams for a couple days.
Oh, thank you.
Now I'm on a panel with you. Oh, dear.
Thank you for your support.
Heck yeah.
I like it. I like it. So the topic we're currently on is where are we?
Slavery.
Morally justified.
Slavery ever morally justified?
I think the key word in this prompt is, of course, the word ever.
Well, that would be nice to define slavery. I mean, if there's like some kind of looser translation, does slavery always entail a punishment?
I would say it's not inherently moral or immoral.
Let's go with
It's really
Annabelle
just a tool
slavery in the
to.
It could be
gain
really
labor.
bad, or it could work out really good for them.
I feel like slavery, like the main problem with slavery is the whole concept of man napping and the like. Because if someone goes and voluntarily goes into slavery, or they kind of fucked up where they have to go and pay something back, then it's fine. But just going and kidnapping a poor person and having them get worked to near death, or having them work their entire life, that there's some moral issues there.
Can
But
I just ask a question to the whole panel based off what I'm thinking JS is saying? So, JS, what you're saying basically is in the sense of because it wasn't as bad of what they would have had done to them, it was morally justified?
I'm saying it was the right thing to do. It was the thing that should happen at that time, that God wanted to happen. The last thing I said before it cut to the character thing was I'm a slave to God, and it's what was supposed to happen. That's why I gave the America with the blacks. That's the modern example, but there's biblical examples. And just throughout history, there's times when being slaves brought people somewhere, and then it ended up better for them. It was the better alternative than what could have happened.
So is slavery the appropriate word though? Because at that point, it feels like slavery would be something more along the lines of performing like a work or good or something for a promise that ends up never getting fulfilled.
It does.
And on your second example there, you just said that the ends justify the means.
You're mixing up debtor's prison. Okay, you're mixing up debtor's prison with indentured servitude, meaning an individual who is captured against their will, taken someplace against their will, and forced to do whatever they're forced to do against their will. The other side of it that you guys are kind of touching on is the debtor's prisons, where you have to work off a debt. And actually,
I'm talking about man stealing.
Thanks, Grandma, for pointing it out. Thank you. That's the point, everyone. I'm not talking about something like where you're paying off a debt or any of that. Slavery, as in the senses, there's no choice for the other individual.
Like they literally
Heck yeah.
own you. They take you against your will. They force you into
No.
labor. I say no. That is never morally
justified.
Their choice is
at
do
all.
what McKimbey says or you die. And McKimbey says go to boats.
So the answer to the question is no, it's never morally justified.
Unless it's a clanker. Am I right, gentlemen?
I still have to go and stand my ground and say, even then, more slavery can be justified. Like
How would
going
you
and
justify it under those
taking
conditions?
someone who doesn't know what's good for them and forcing them to do something and basically micromanage their life. that can be
Not your right to
good.
choose what's
So we
good
can
for you.
enslave
But-
autistic people.
But it wasn't moral. It
yes.
wasn't moral for the man stealer.
We should
but it is
enslave
immoral
autistic
for the man buyer who eventually frees this person. That would still be slavery. That's still a part of slavery.
That's
Part of
not saying
slavery is
slavery is
the
morally justified.
a man
That's-
stealing
that's
is the bad thing. The guy who's running around capturing all the other people around him and locking them in cages and selling them to people. But the guy who buys them and frees him,
definitely bad.
Forcefully removing anybody from their home and taking them off to an unfamiliar place and forcing them to do things. There's nothing moral about it. Nothing.
Well, what if you put prisoners into slavery?
yeah. What if you defeat somebody in war?
That is bad. You're
That's
back
not the same
to
thing.
That's the man stealing.
no. You're back. No, you're back to debtor's prison. They're paying off a debt to society.
Yeah.
Wait, they're paying off a debt by being a participant in a war that they lost, or at least them personally.
They do that with
is the
young
just
people all the
deprivation of
time.
someone's rights.
Judges give.
Think of it like Legos.
Yeah.
You buy a company,
POW trying to pay
and
off
they
a
have
debt
Legos
limit.
on consignment.
I don't know. I
What do
didn't
you
see
do
a
with the
like,
What debt would a
Really
POW be
cheaper in that
paying
mini
off?
thing.
They fought against you and are
No,
lost.
not a POW.
Exactly.
I'm talking about, okay, say the United States, a juvenile delinquent goes before a judge. The judge gives him two choices. You can either go into the military and straighten up, or you can go and spend the rest of the time in prison, but you'll spend less time in the military. So that's
not the same. That's not slavery.
That's
We
still a
define
choice.
slavery. That's not the.
That's still a
not
choice.
the-
That's like me going to Tomahawk and
That's
saying,
what I'm
"Hey,
saying.
Tomahawk, check
It's
it out,
still-
dude.
that
Can you
is
loan me
still-
$1,000 and I'll cut your grass for like literally 3 summers?"
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. It's
That's
still
a completely different thing. And even in the ancient systems, a lot of what we see mentioned as slavery in scripture was exactly that, right? I
It was
was
given a
trading
choice.
my manual labor service for a different good or service with somebody, usually usually finances. So Tomahawk is a wealthy man, and my family can barely eat. I go to Tomahawk, say, Tomahawk, look, dude, I will be your servant for an X amount of years for an X amount of money. Tomahawk says, yeah, sure, here's some money, feed your family, but I need you to do these chores. I'm
That's a
literally just
job.
exchanging a service at that point. Now I am his servant. I'm not his
That's a
slave.
job.
Slave entitles ownership over the human being, the human individual, right? Every
And-
part of that person is owned by you. That is not morally justified.
right.
Well, what if you're if you're a prisoner though? I mean, if you're being held by a state, wouldn't they have moral, or wouldn't they have custody over that prisoner?
Yes, the
Yeah, but a
prisoner has
prison
to
is a
pay a
different
debt
thing
to
entirely because
society,
prison is just
right?
deprivation of your
For
rights.
You
From their
go to
ruling, but let's
jail.
say they were
You're doing
innocent.
what?
It's all
You're
just different
paying
words
your
for
debt to
slavery.
society. So
And I
even
don't
if
know-
somebody's put in jail and given 10 years of hard labor in a Georgia prison camp, they are literally then paying their debt to society. A slave has no debt to anybody, right?
Right.
A slave has a debt to his slave owner.
No.
No, he doesn't.
If his slave owner bought him, he has that debt, and if the slave
he
owner
doesn't.
takes care of him,
No.
yeah, he does.
No.
Where's the consideration for that contract?
Because exactly. Because what?
He's a victim of
Okay.
kidnapping.
That's a debt.
He doesn't
that's a
have-
debt
he
that
doesn't
can't
have
be
a
paid.
debt to
That's a
him.
debt
Hey,
that can't be paid off.
Paige, can you read that contract over for us?
Depends on the government.
Castrated. But if he gets set up
There's
nicely,
got to be a referendum there somewhere.
But you guys aren't considering the fact if like there's a large family that can't sustain themselves, they can sell off a few of their children to someone who's willing to buy them to go and give that kid a better life and to give a better life to the family, even if that kid
Yeah,
gets
selling off your
worked
children
brutally.
it's happened
and
in
starved to death
America.
if you
Ah,
work.
Is
yes.
slavery still morally justified then, or is it
Yeah,
justified
selling off
legally?
children's not
But
I
is
would say that's
it
morally
even
justified.
slavery at that point?
That's still not even slavery.
Russ.
That's
selling children's not morally justified.
I
Russ,
don't think
who were
it's
the
slavery at that point.
Nenephims? I think it was the Nenephims, not Nephilims. I'm not talking about Nephilims, but who was the
You want to
Nenephims?
debate giants? Let's debate giants.
We're not talking about giants. We could do giants though. We could do. I'll destroy you on giants, Russ. The Nenephims they were taken slaves by Israel, and they became slaves, and they could have left, but they liked it better there. Shocker. The pagans who lived out in the wilderness liked a civilization better. And so they chilled and they stayed around. And eventually, like 4 generations later, they helped build the temple, and God blessed them, and their family was blessed. And they were the stranger and the sojourner who came in and assimilated, and they were brought in as slaves, and they liked it. And it was the right thing to do for them to stay and work, and it was the right thing to do for Israel to not kill them, because there was a better destiny for them.
Yes, and they were given
I don't believe in destiny,
too.
but y'all do.
You see, they were given a choice at the end. God gave them a choice, and even God conscribed it the law. The stranger that sojourn among you shall be as one born of the land. Right? Circumcised on the 8th day, stock of Israel, able to marry Israelite women, able to approach the Passover and keep it faithfully. Yes, but that doesn't mean that the slavery itself was morally justified. But also, to a degree, Israel never thought of themselves as owning somebody.
God told them to do that, Russ.
They were in a fallen world,
but not in the same way that Egypt owned Israel. See,
God
Egypt
told them to do that, Russ.
They were in a fallen world at the time.
Egypt had taken,
and then they were blessed.
ownership.
It was prophetic. It was prophetic.
Yes.
He wanted them to come, and then eventually they would work on the temple and build it up.
Yes, and it was a different kind of
But
slavery.
was it immoral for them to do what God told them to do?
Yes, but it was a different kind of slavery. Slavery in the sense that
See, now we're just doing word games. I'm talking about all the
it-
slavery.
All the slavery.
All the
for
slavery.
Me, all the
debtor's
slavery,
prison, the indentured servitude, the
Those are
Slavs.
slavery.
Whatever you want to say. Did you know it actually comes from
Slavery
the
for me
Russian
is
word
the literal ownership of another human being.
It's slavery.
right?
We're talking about slavery.
Yes,
You're a slave. You got no choice. You're locked up. You get brought in, whether you're bought, whether it's a war, whether it's whatever situation you went in prison, all of them, you're a slave. And you could morally justify slavery at some point.
Heck yeah.
It's
I'd
better
like
to
to
go
do
and
1v1.
mansfield than it is to go and
Just
get
people are so
slaughter.
I work at Burger King making flavor whoppers. I wear paper hats. Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like an apple pie with that? Ding, pies are done. Ding, pies are done. Ding, pies are done. Ding, pies are done. I gotta run. I gotta run. I gotta run. I gotta run. Don't bumper fries and hot fat. It really hurt bad and so the skin grabs. Would you like?
Is that implying that I'm retarded?
Probably.
Maybe. Not likely you can.
There is a high likelihood that the message being shown on screen has some truth to it.
Or maybe it's because somebody paid for it.
Heck yeah.
And it was random.
That could also be true.
It was on a random loop. I'm done talking.
Wow. Guys, you broke him.
Okay,
with
JS.
that one clip.
So
Thanks, JS.
is it the condition that slavery is the ownership of someone without their consent or their control, right?
Right. The absence of free will while forcing while the absence of free will while demanding labor from the other person is what's wrong.
And other services.
And other services.
Right?
Okay.
Slavery
Well,
is not just towing
Is
the
it
field.
slavery to make your kids pick up their rooms and
According to the leftists, yes, they call it slavery, and they feel like people should be emancipated from that, which basically means that they all need to go and
be emancipated from the moment they exit.
I mean, your
the
children
womb.
are your direct ownership, right? Until they reach a certain age, and then
If you're
they
born
have to-
into a family in the South and your family has slaves, and then your dad dies and now you own these slaves, and times are changing, and eventually you let them free. Maybe they go out and they get sick and they don't like being free, and they come back and they say, "Massa, can I work for you some more?" And you say, "Yeah, come on."
why is it always got to be about like Massa and whip cracking?
and
This
you say
guy-
yes, what did you do that was immoral? And then but they're free now, but they just work for you. And then they eventually run the plantations. That wasn't immoral. Nothing you did there was immoral, and you were a
The
slave
transfer
owner.
of ownership isn't immoral. It's the keeping of them. If you know that's the wrong thing to do, like let Pharaoh let my people go. Maybe that's the immoral part, is keeping them.
Did you know the original, what is it, the Constitution or whatever, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Originally, it was life, liberty, and the pursuit of property, but people got mad because they were like, "Oh, it's slaves and women." It's talking about slaves and women, so they had to make it it's
that.
somewhere in like the Federalist Papers or something. But
Somewhere in the back of my mind, I remember seeing that like
they had
once
talks
in my
about it.
early
They had to
years.
change it. So
Once
they said
seeing
the
that like
pursuit of
once in my
happiness.
early years. Some
Gay.
reference to that.
Yeah, the state happiness. You can't call things property. I don't like that.
I'm not a property. You can't say that.
My body, my choice.
That's what it turned into. That is what it turned into. So.
No, no. I just thought the kids angle would be a good one.
Someone
Because I've got-
is calling for their dad.
Yeah,
So
that's
nobody
me.
answered
Sorry.
the question.
Sorry.
Is that
You're
hypothetical?
dead. That's
Did he
great.
do anything immoral? Or as soon as his dad died, should he say, "Slaves, you're
Sorry.
free"?
Sorry, that was my kid. He just wanted to say, "Hey, dad, and then I'm like, "Hey, what's up,
And
buddy?"
just
And he
send
just
him
wanted to
off
hit me
into
with
the
the 6-shooter.
wilderness.
No, the 6-shooter is where he flips me off. I'm like, "Oh, don't hit me with the 6-shooter." So,
Bruh, that's cute, bro. That's cute, man.
Somebody should
they're adorable.
because
These are my 3 best little slaves right here.
Well, JS, I think we can use another example. Right from the start of Christianity, Christians were known for buying slaves and then freeing them internally within the church, right? They were buying their freedom. And also Christians were exchanging their own freedom for the freedom of a slave. For example, a Christian would go to one of the slave auctioneers and say, "I'll be a slave, but you let him go." Right? And then they would trade places. So owning a slave wouldn't always be immoral. But
When did that? They would
slavery in
trade
and
places
of
with the
itself is
slaves. They were
immoral.
walking up.
Yes.
Damn, slavery might have been nice, like a job or something.
No, it wasn't. But that's what Christians would do because Christians believed in freedom. In fact, it was St. Augustine who said that slavery itself was the inevitable result of man's fall. It's the initial inherent sin.
But Russ, you're making my point. So wouldn't the guy who goes in and trades places with the slave, isn't that morally justifying slavery? Now he's a slave.
It's not
thank you for
justifying
proving my
slavery
point that slavery
when
was
you-
can be
Hold
morally
on.
justified.
Acting morally within an immoral system doesn't baptize the immoral system and make it moral. That just doesn't work.
Okay, so
you
you're
can
thinking
act
about the
morally
system.
within an immoral system. That's called virtue.
I think you got you with that one, JS.
I have to think about that. Maybe
Is that the case? Like finding the money in a bank bag on the sidewalk, but then return it to the bank instead of keeping it for yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say so. Wouldn't that be
Because
correct,
See, you're thinking, okay, on a systemic level like that, it's different. I'm thinking of the actions of
Well,
doing
the
the
institute
slavery.
of slavery, owning another human being, is absolutely immoral. But you can act morally within that immoral system, and Christians have done it since the
This is verbal combat. Brutality. Get over here. You will never win. This is
He's already
All right,
here.
yeah, second introduction.
Oh, they must have left. Yeah,
That's
they
great. Now there's two of me.
No, no.
That gives me a free.
They were here. They were here, and then they left.
Just imagine, like, oh, a new player has joined. Now there's two of me. So if I either 1v1 myself or I get a free life.
My stomach is growling.
Anyway, to Rev Russ's point, I would agree on that because like it's similar to the phrase, you're utilizing the tools that you're given, basically making lemonade out of lemons, sort of thing. Like the system itself is morally reprehensible. The system of slavery is morally reprehensible, but if you're doing a good act within the system, if you're essentially doing a good act within the system, there's at least a silver lining to it in the form of the good act that you are performing. But the system itself was still wrong.
I don't know how to say what I'm thinking.
Can you describe what you're thinking?
It seems like what you're doing with the word slavery is like what we do with murder and kill, and you're making it tautological where like the word slavery means bad. Therefore, I can't morally justify slavery because slavery means bad. Slavery means murder. And you need to use a different word that's not slavery, like murder and kill. You need to use what we call kill, but there's no other word for that. That's just slavery. And so you have it in your head. Slavery means immoral and bad. So the word slavery means bad thing. And I can't morally justify bad thing. And I'm saying that the word slavery is more flexible than that. It doesn't just mean immoral.
I guess if you're trying to say that if you're going to use the system of slavery as more of a tool and you're going to treat it more as a tool rather than a moral act, then you have... I see where you're coming from because
I can't morally justify murder because murder is inherently bad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that the word slavery doesn't mean inherently bad. And then you guys are saying, well, it just does mean it. Just slavery means.
Die without dignity.
Muted.
Fantastic start.
Muted intro.
Of course, I'm muted right away. But yeah, I'm first off, Jess, you're on the right track here, but you're just not, you're not getting into the actual point.
Are you gonna be on my side?
Yes. Yes, actually. Yeah. So let me ask you guys something. Do you think I have an absolute ability to acquire, own, transfer, use property?
No.
An absolute right?
As long as I have the power, I forgot to say this at the start. As long as I have the power, do I have the ability to acquire, own, transfer, and use property?
Force doctrine,
you could,
totally.
Yeah, because if you're able to protect your property, you get to have and do with what you will your property.
If
In
you
a
have
lawless state, sure.
you're free to-
No,
That's
I'm not asking about a right. I'm asking about the ability to do so. If I have the power.
Currently,
With
no.
the ability, no.
What do you mean currently no?
The laws
Oh,
forbid it. If
yeah,
the laws
the-
are gone, then who freaking gives a damn, right?
Nah, if he's able to fight, I'd say if he's able to fight the government off, go right ahead.
How is he Superman? Are we using the Superman analogy?
Sure. Whatever you want to look at it. I'm fucking what's that fucking I always forget his name.
War
Homeland.
Machine?
Homelander.
Trump. I'm that asshole, okay? Whatever it is, right?
Sure.
And you're an all-powerful
if he's
entity, and you
got
can use force doctrine to
Right,
claim and take property and people and
Right, so
at their
people
will. Yeah.
legitimately come under
That only
ownership.
works on people who can't ground their morals.
Well, wait a minute.
objectively.
Wait.
We're searching for the ever here. Give him a second.
People can legitimately come under the ownership through conquest, right?
I mean, that's where we get into the whole man napping thing. But,
But
yeah.
is that just force doctrine, or is there a law behind that?
No.
This is verbal combat.
Brutality.
Get over here.
You will never win.
This is verbal combat.
Hello.
Vintage.
Well,
that is
The original Intage.
Let's fucking go. Welcome.
I almost renamed myself to the original Hangover, but I thought I'd just keep it normal.
Would it be an apt description, though? If it's an apt description, I don't see why
It
not.
would be. It would be.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Go ahead and change your name there, sir.
Yeah, OGB and ABG. Hell yeah.
Let's actually, since you guys want to go into legal and rights and this and that, let's back up what I was saying for a minute. Let's do it that way. All right. So, do we have an absolute right to acquire and own property?
An absolute right. Wow, that's
Yeah,
some
in
heavy
the
words
US.
there.
No.
Generally speaking,
No, you don't have a right to it.
I think
in
so.
our
Yeah.
and I would say with the American structure, yeah, I would think you'd
Yes,
have to.
in America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna go now, because you guys wanted to stay legal. This will be even better for me. You
That's
fucked
my
yourself.
fault.
You fucked yourself. Yeah. All right, this will be better for our side now. So yeah,
No.
Yeah.
You don't have an
No,
absolute
we'll play
right.
along. Go ahead.
we
Go
don't
ahead.
have a right to acquire, own, transfer,
You said
use
absolute
No, we totally do. Even slavery is a legal right of ownership.
Yeah, in America.
For a
it-
long ass time,
it's
slavery
absolute
was
right.
the law of the land. It
Would you-
doesn't
I don't know
matter
what
that
that
it's only
means.
a
His claim, not a not claim.
Wait a minute, we're
Victoria?
off the slavery thing, right? So we're on to if you
No,
have
we're
the
still
money.
talking about
he's
slavery.
trying to back
No. Yeah, we're
I
still.
back up a little
that
bit.
his foundation's
I'm
going to be wrong.
going to show you that this can be
We're back on
justified here.
slavery.
You just
Right,
have to have one moral
You
justification.
don't have
We're looking
any
for it.
absolute right.
We all, as in America, have the individual absolute right to acquire, own, and transfer property.
No. There are thousands of things
Absolutely
you do not have the right to own or acquire in America.
Property.
Yeah, there's
No.
property
Like what?
that you cannot own as an
Oh,
American.
wait, no. I didn't say. No. I didn't say you can own everything. That's not what I said.
No, just
You
a right to
you
own
have
certain
a right
things.
you have a right to acquire, own, and transfer and
Are
use
you saying
property.
an absolute
Yeah.
right or
There's no right
'Cause those
to
are two
own
different
natural
levels.
protected wildlife lands.
There's not. So number one, you obviously need to get. Some people need a mortgage, right? They need to get approval from the bank. They need to get the building, approved by the building code. If you need like a specific, like you're renting property, right? If you're building property, you need to actually get the like the grants and whatnot for the land rights. Absolutely, at any point in that process,
zoning
you can
permits.
refuse.
I don't care about any of this because legality and morality have nothing to do with each other a lot.
Yeah, I was about to go with the
I
J with
agree,
you know,
but
with that,
another
'cause
thing
it's
is
like-
you can be legally deprived of your property rights by a dozen of systems. Eminent domain. If
Mhm.
you're punished by law, you can be financially garnished, or your
Yeah,
property
but that's
can be
the
confiscated.
government's power to seize that from you, though.
Yeah,
But that
and
means
I
that you
was-
don't have an absolute right
interferes.
to property or to acquire it.
Yeah, because the rights have been made and enforced by the government, right? The people who
You don't
established
actually own it.
So
Yeah.
what we're all saying here is you don't have an absolute right to property.
I do wish I could own a bald eagle.
When you say that, like,
can you not own a bald eagle?
Hell no, you
So-
can't fucking
so not
touch
by
a bald
law,
eagle. You're going
not by
to prison
law,
for
but
life.
if
What?
you
It's a
happen to
bird.
save one from an egg and the government never found out about it, I mean, you're doing the right thing trying to save its life, right? So you could.
Why are they so valuable? Are they like? Is it like cocaine in them that I'm unaware of? Like, why are they that
A
valuable?
national bird.
Yeah,
and I
they're
think
just-
national
they're
bird.
just bird and it's
Right,
endangered.
They were
okay.
endangered, but they're not
National
endangered
bird and they're
anymore.
endangered. Surprisingly
Yeah.
enough.
I don't think they're endangered anymore. We saved them.
No, dude,
Yeah,
they're
they're
fucking
from
just they're
from
awesome too.
Australia.
Like if you've ever
They're
seen one in
not
real
really
life,
on
They're
a
flying
They
around
actually
Florida now.
populated enough that they're not endangered anymore. I remember
I
that.
think
from
so.
my
I think
years.
so.
I
Thanks
think
to
they're
Michigan.
on the.
We've got bald
not
eagles
on
in
the
Michigan
endangered, they're
now.
one step down from that. It's like they're on the warning list or something.
Right.
I got a
okay.
couple bald eagles just up the street.
We
from me.
enslaved a bunch of bald eagles.
We tried to do that with the emus, but we
And
lost
we
that war.
saved them from extinction.
Yeah.
That's moral as
See?
fuck.
that's
We
the
tried
one.
to
There's your,
enslave the emus, and it didn't work out
If the
for us.
population were to suddenly collapse, would it be morally justified to enslave all the women and make them
One
have
second,
babies?
though.
yeah, that's
Oh
enough.
boy.
South Korea,
Only if
Japan,
they
and
like
US
fight back. I
country.
don't think they would even
I
fight
think
back.
the only condition for that would be like, what were they wearing?
And save us.
What were they wearing?
They're wearing Kamala t-shirts.
That was bad. I'm
Kamala
sorry.
2032.
36,
See,
24,
how do the
76.
women on the panel feel about that? Hmm?
Why are we
Can
asking
them?
There's one.
They don't.
woman.
They're slaves. They don't get a choice.
Oh, there's two. Prim's here.
okay, so I just want to ask a quick question then. Without God, what's the basis do you have to say that property rights stop at human beings? Like, why can I own a horse, but I can't own a person?
Yeah, and Russ,
God.
Russ
nothing.
never really dealt with that. If God commands someone to take a slave, how can that be immoral?
Well, God only ever commanded that in the Old Testament, and the Old Testment's a fallen world. Ergo, God was not telling
We're
you.
still in the
what
Old Testament.
Purely right
The
and
world
wrong.
is the Old Testament.
I don't know.
No, Jesus came by and
what
redeemed.
happened in the New Testament then?
You know why? Because animals weren't created in God's image.
The problem is what I'm trying to get to, right? You could even, I could just concede they're not absolute. The thing was, what I was saying here is that you have you have the right to own and use property. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. So then that means like, the rights are created by the and you guys would agree, I think here, by like whoever's got the biggest fucking stake, basically.
Yeah. Force doctrine for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so like human beings don't possess any like intrinsic rights.
No, because
Only one.
From a standpoint, yeah.
They
I would
should.
say that. To that I would respond. Might makes. Now it might not make right, but might makes.
that's the whole reason anarchy always goes into chaos, and you always get
the
a
premise
a
too
leader
there
somewhere.
just for a second ago was rights are only defined by whoever has the biggest stick.
Rights. Yeah.
So then you have to agree that human beings don't possess any intrinsic rights.
Yeah.
Rights are
See where you're
a
going with
social construction.
So then why? Okay, so then a person could legitimately be owned by conquests, punishment.
Nope. I'm a
birth.
Christian. I reject your premise.
So
Well,
if you wanted, if
go with the
you wanted to say they could be owned, like you could march down and take a whole town and say, hey, every one of you, Walking Dead style, like you're all gonna come with me now, or you're going down, whatever you want to.
What is it?
Force
Oh
doctrine.
wait, what's going on here?
There's a 1v1v1.
The three.
There's a 1v1.
Oh man, not my boy Rev.
Oh shit.
Oh
shit.
Like, well, everybody, it's been nice It's been nice for having me on the panel. Thank you all for.
Oh,
So,
don't be squeezing.
Rev Russ, JS, and Johnny.
Whoa.
Oh shit! Let's fucking do it.
A three-way.
Time for 1v1.
All right.
Don't make it sound dirty.
So let's
Hey, it ain't gay if it's in a three-way. It's okay if it's in a three-way. With a honey in the middle. Sorry.
Where the fuck did JS go? Are you trying to pawn this off onto the chat?
Dude, the sheer thought of having to go against Russ it folded him like a lawn chair, man. He's out.
So here, just so the panel can prepare if we're gonna continue on that topic after, just so where you know where I was going with it. If we don't possess intrinsic rights, then obviously we can be legitimately come under ownership. And if that ownership is legitimate, the owner has the authority to direct fucking labor and whatever the fuck they want. Right? So interfering with that ownership is actually a violation of justice. So yeah, slavery could be morally permissible if the ownership is legitimate.
But what would be the basis for that morality, though?
Would be, it'd be subjective morality. We work in epistemology where our objective is our morality is objective.
It's not. It's biblical. It's God. It's God commanded. If you're
if you try to argue outside the Christian scope, but then you're not following the main creator of morality. You know, I mean, that's.
Is this a 2v2 or what are we doing here?
No, it's a three-way. It's a three-way battle here. I was just giving the panel time to prepare while you were gone. But let's get you guys a topic here.
People are gonna be like, JS thinks we should bring back slavery. Hell no! I'm broke. I couldn't even afford a slave. Actually, in the South, most of the plantation
is that what the JS stands for? Just slaving.
Just slave them. It's a Nike swish, but it's got some handcuffs on it.
That's a good idea. Who's in it? It's me and you're not.
It's a 1v1v1.
Yeah, I'm not in this one.
Versus Rev Russ versus Johnny.
Which should have more power? Federal government, state, provincial government, or local governments?
Fuck. I hate this one.
B.
What the fuck?
Well,
I'm going down anyway, so I'm just. I'm gonna say.
You say B.
Yeah, state
okay.
provincial.
I'll say A. Even though I've said the other thing before, but the other way before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, damn, you're fighting.
See,
but no, I think maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
Or a new prompt, you know.
We can do a new one. Which political system is least bad? Democracy, constitutional republic, benevolent dictatorship.
I'd go
B.
with B on that.
Ooh.
I think we're on. Maybe I'll go with B.
Or American.
I'm not saying A. I'd have to get Jason out of bed to do A.
Dang.
I'm not in the mood for that right now.
So you got two B's. Man, part of me's wanting to say C. You threw in benevolent in there.
Yeah, it's benevolent. I just caught that too. Benevolent dictatorship.
Because I don't want to give too much away, but I'm leaning towards C. If I got to go down on that hill, I'll ride C down.
Hey, shout out to Rob North for the raid. Let's fucking go. Welcome into the North.
Normal Americans.
So what do you guys think, guys?
I'll throw C. But it'd be a
Least bad.
2v1 at that point then. So
I could, or we
Yeah.
could go for a different one. Which crime deserves the harshest penalties? I've been up in my list with the 3 options, so I have a few.
You want to try out some of the 3 option ones?
Yeah.
Some good
Harshest
prompts,
penalties.
Which crime deserves the harshest penalties? Murder, rape, or treason?
You guys pick, and I'll do whatever's left.
A.
You're saying murder?
That's a hard one.
That's a really good prompt. But yeah, I feel like A is the layup.
All by the sword.
But I'm gonna need everything. I need everything I can get against a couple of badasses here.
You take rape, I'll take treason. Rev?
Welcome in all the neurons. Maybe you guys didn't hear me when I said it a couple seconds ago, but welcome in. Thank you, Rob, for the raid. I appreciate that big time.
He's trying to get banned with this one. This should be a damn Rumble topic. We're talking about murder, rape, treason.
It was great.
I feel like I'm on trial here.
See
Now
the
you
Rumble
don't know
topics, bro.
Yeah, we're not on TikTok. It's okay.
Wait till you see the Rumble topics. All the shit we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, I've seen some really good comments from Fuck It Button.
If you want treason, I'll take rape. Pause. Don't clip that.
Which crime deserves the harshest punishment?
I can take any of them, I guess.
Well, pick one. You got.
Yeah, I got A.
He got A.
So you got A.
JS got really excited about B.
Okay, well, if JS wants B, he can have B, I guess. But yeah,
I don't
guess
even believe.
I'll take C. Or
No, I want treason.
you want treason?
So you got one option. Can you take rape or?
Yeah, I guess I'll take that one.
Topic.
You could take treason if you want.
Rolling, yeah.
I'm just worried
Some
about
damn good prompts.
I'm just worried about Toast though with taking B because it would require some language.
Oh, she's
well, too late. We've already said rape like 20 times.
Yeah, true. So no, you want a different one?
Another topic? You could do another topic.
Which punishment is most effective? Prison, rehabilitation, public shaming.
Prison. Oh shit! You beat me on that one. I guess the next one would be C.
I'll do B.
So A, C, and you're doing B?
I'm doing rehabilitation. I need to write this down. I'm gonna forget the prompt in like 18 seconds.
Well, I'll keep it up for a bit so that you guys
Awesome. Yep. Rev with
You guys
A.
good with this one, or do you want a different one?
I like this one.
Oh, they're all good. I hate when we pass them up when they're badass prompts, but at least we got A for Rev Russ and B for.
I like
JS
this
and
one.
C for me. I'll take.
All right. Word. I like it. So, chat, let me explain to you how this goes. For anyone who's just coming in, too, I'll put this up real quick. Oh, no, it did the thing. I can't scroll. Hold up. Fuck. Give me a sec, boys. I got to refresh. Stupid stream.
You're all right. You're all right.
Oh, are we going? Is the timer up? What the?
Son of a
Tiny!
Son of a bitch. That's me, actually.
Pour me a drink.
Yeah. Get the timer back up. All right. What I was gonna do is I was gonna put the list up for you guys real quick, just so you guys see what you got here. Okay. But this one here, all right, it's a 3-way match. It is going to 6 minutes to start. Okay, chat. So if you want to add on a minute, what the fuck? Oh, if you want to add on a minute, it is $10 to add a minute. It is $60 if you want a solo judge. And if we don't get a solo judge, it goes to the chat poll, and the loser of the poll will lose their soul. Fighters, good luck to the both of you. Or all three of you, sorry. Let's get it.
Good luck to both of you guys.
So,
All right. So I'd say prison is the most effective punishment because it's the only one that immediately restrains dangerous offenders, protects the innocent, and gives space for justice. As far as rehabilitation goes, we see how far that went when that one lady was unalived on a subway station. How many times was that guy released to be rehabilitated? In public shaming, I mean, sure, that can be effective to a degree, but then it just turns justice into a spectacle. And really, what justice is being served when somebody's being shamed? I say prison's the best option. It removes the threat, it restrains their movement, takes away their certain freedoms, creature comforts, and it's a perfect punishment for doing
All
that.
right, Russ, there's three of us. Calm down.
That's all right. He's just saying his piece. I did have a good retort to that, though, when he was saying the public shaming is only good for a certain point. But I will say this. The court of public opinion is far stronger than any court justice system. If someone doesn't like you or exiles you, if you have caught a bad rap, I mean, there's people who do horrendous things to themselves just because the public eye says, oh, you did this, or oh, you're this, you ain't worth this. You could even be proven innocent. I mean, look at situations like OJ, and then they still, oh no, he did it. You know, you got people like Aaron Hernandez who ends up doing, himself, and he was trying to use the legal system to get around certain things for that. So I think public shaming is definitely, I would say, at bare minimum, at least as effective as prison. I understand prison does have a method of detaining someone who's dangerous and to get them kind of away from the situation. But when you're forced to be, I mean, everyone usually gets released from prison. There's life in prison, but I think public shaming goes even beyond that. You can still get public shame while you're in prison. When you get out, what are your chances of getting a job? Nothing. It's the trying to hire a criminal you're basically at a death sentence there anyway, because nobody wants you. I mean, God forbid you ever, touch a child or anything, because even if you were just accused of it,
but that's not shaming.
Hey, do
That's
I get to go?
Ostracization. Ostracization is a lot different than public shaming. Public shaming, for example,
I
is
haven't made a
you
case
being
for
strung up
rehabilitation
and
yet, Rev.
Rev,
you better give.
Go ahead. Sorry, JS.
I was just retorting that and
Damn.
also making my opening. Let JS.
Y'all are
have
acting like everything's independent of the other. Rev, when you say prison's better than rehabilitation, I would rehabilitate people in prison. That's what prison should be for, is that eventually we're going to introduce them back into society unless they're unrehabilitatable, and then we just end it.
But even then, they'd never
Hold
get
on.
away from
You guys all went on for like a minute. Chill out, Rev.
Sorry,
Chill out,
sorry.
Rev.
Go ahead, JS.
You can have prison, public shaming, and rehabilitation in a package, but the most effective punishment, what are we punishing for? Why are we punishing people? We're just punishing people just to screw them up for the rest of their lives, or are we punishing them so that they improve? Effective punishment corrects the person, and rehabilitation is the only corrective thing here. You guys are just punishing. I'm trying to correct the person. Now, some people that's a dead end, and that's what the penalties are. Yes, and what is
that punishment?
What is effective punishment? Effective punishment is something that corrects someone's behavior.
What's the purpose of
prison?
People would say
locking them up in prison. That's recidivative.
But I will say this: I think most people are going to agree that what's happening to Ghislaine Maxwell in a rehabilitation center is not a form of punishment that I think most of society is going to be. And of course, on top of that, the public shaming that goes to
people, I think that's okay. What about the victims, JS? What about the victims of the crime? Do they think that rehabilitation is going to be a just punishment for whatever?
Most victims,
harm.
Not most. I don't know most.
I would say a lot.
Yeah, we don't know what most victims know because they're dead.
Well, we do because we know about victim statements in court trials and stuff. A lot of times, I wouldn't say maybe most, a lot of times they're forgiving and they would rather that the person not just rot in a cell forever, but better their lives.
But not a lot of the times.
Like,
you see, the thing is, JS, is when people are given light-handed sentences and then they're released to be rehabilitated, they do more harm than good because they're now putting the
why do
wolf
you keep
back in the
why do you
pen with
keep
the
smuggling
sheep.
in? Why do you keep
I'm not
smuggling in that
smuggling
they're going to be
anything in.
released to be
Rehabilitation
rehabilitated?
should be the goal.
No,
That
you
shouldn't
did.
be
You
the
did that in your
punishment.
opening. You
Actually,
smuggled
And
in.
I argue
I'm
that
saying,
with
I'm saying
rehabilitation is the
prison.
reward,
because
not
it
the
doesn't
punishment.
do no good.
No.
You're okay. I'm gonna
You're
give you a pat
smuggling
on the
this in.
wrist,
Nope.
and then I'm gonna try to
Nope.
help you
I'm
be a
not
better
accepting any of
person.
this. Nope.
But the
Nope. You're
person
wrong.
that you
Why are you
hurt, they're
smuggling this
chopped
in?
liver, so they're
Straw
not
man.
gonna get to
Straw
see
man,
justice
you're just
served.
smuggling in some bullshit that I never
No.
said. Yeah.
Well, you got to
Yeah,
tell me
you
where
put
justice
you
is
put
served
this in
with
your opening before I
rehabilitation.
started, and now I said what I said, and you're still using it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying shit. I just forgot where I was going. My train of mind just got heated.
That's
My
all right,
brain
man.
just broke.
I didn't mean to
I think the
derail
worst
your
part.
trip.
You're
Yeah.
smuggling that in. I'm not saying that they can't be imprisoned while they're rehabilitated. You're saying release them.
It's not
I'm not talking about some
smuggling in,
Democrat
it's
policy.
presupposed.
Hold on. I'm not talking about some Democrat policy where you just release people all the time. We're rehabilitating them and throw them back on the street. I'm not talking about that bullshit. You keep them in prison. Yes, prison is valid and effective. But while they're in prison, it's more effective to rehabilitate them and have them released as a contributing member of society and not just rot in prison forever.
See, and that's a terrible
I would
aspect to have
agree,
because then
but
that's like
that's
the
not the
Ivana refused.
punishment
Yeah.
because you can't. Because
Time
you gotta
out
say
is not
which
should not
punishment
be
is most
forever.
effective.
When you put your
How
child in
is
timeout,
rehabilitation more
that's why
effective
we
than
say thank
prison
God for
when,
public
when your
shaming.
model of rehabilitation
hold on.
relies on prison, JS?
When you put your child in timeout, is the goal that they sit in timeout for the rest of their lives, or that they stop doing what they did, they rehabilitate from that, and they correct the behavior?
Oh, what they go in timeout
Yes,
for?
but are you going to rehabilitate them
They went in
outside of
timeout
timeout?
for fucking poking their brother with a stick.
Oh
Yes,
shit! So
but
maybe
you
if you
need timeout,
publicly
don't
shame
you?
them by spanking their asses in public and saying, "Hey, don't be acting like a jackass,"
Damn, that's black as shit. Don't do that.
it's public shaming. Sometimes you
Actually, no,
got to.
that's
Sometimes
white.
you got to
I
whip
got
a
my
kid,
race
you know.
there mixed
And
up
that's far safer and better than going to prison because most of the time when you go to
Don't beat your
prison,
kids in
you're gonna
public.
get acclimated to the people in there. You're a product of your environment,
When
and
you're
that's where
correcting your
jail.
child,
Most criminals in
I was
prison.
brought up by a bunch of
doing that in public.
southern conservative Christians who literally had a wooden paddle with the words engraved, "Spare the rod, spoil the child."
Heck yeah, public
Okay.
shaming. I love it.
No, that wasn't public shaming because if you acted up in the store, you know what Mama said to you? She didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't whoop you in the
There's
middle of the
also
store
a-
in front
No,
of
she
everybody. She
said-
pulled you really close, Johnny, and she said, "You wait till we
Yep.
get to the car, young man."
That or if you keep
Yeah, not
acting up,
public. Good point,
if you
right?
keep
That's what I'm
acting up,
saying.
if
You
I
do that
keep dropping
And so
and
you
flailing in the
see,
store,
even public,
I want that toy.
what
I want
would
that
have been,
gum.
what was more effective for me is when my mom or dad or my grandma or grandpa would get real close and say, "You wait till we get to where we're going." That was more effective to me than a SWAT in the store, right?
So you
but
so
what's
you
next
agree
is-
with me that correcting privately, but you're not.
But the
that's not-
public shaming is better. Yeah, that's instead of sending
That's
you
the
off to jail.
rehabilitation, Russ. That's the
what happens when you beat
rehabilitation,
a
Russ.
what happens when
Russ,
you beat a
that's the
kid in public?
No, that's the
is you cause a
rehabilitation's an
little bit
afterthought.
of
The public
additional
shaming is before.
baggage with it. You
don't put 'em
see,
in
spare the
timeout
rod, spoil
forever.
the child. You're given a covenant responsibility over children to discipline them properly
Also, while they're
and
in prison,
effectively.
while
So
they're in prison,
publicly
Russ.
shaming your children isn't that effective. In fact, it fractures trust between the child and the parent. Then you end up with a bunch of disobedient heathens.
I don't know. That's like you said. You just if my dad said, "Hey, if you don't stop acting like a jackass, you are going to get whipped." That's the entailment of a punishment.
That's not public shaming.
and
That's the
what-
same as prison. That's a
I have
punishment.
a question for
No,
Russ.
because prison entails that you're going to do time somewhere.
Russ, while they're in prison, would you have them work for you?
Well, let's see. Like, for example, the whole spanking thing. If
Hold on,
somebody
answer
committed
that
a
question, Russ.
homicide, are we
JS
going to
had a
put
pretty
them
good
in front of the? Are we going to
Answer
put
that
them in front
question,
of the
Russ.
court and pull down their pants and paddle them in front of everybody and turn them loose?
Yeah, that's. I think that's very
After we
effective.
publicly
Shaming.
shame them.
Russ,
Okay,
answer
so
that question.
so a murderer gets
then the idea is
spanked and then
that they
sent
get
out of the
corrected.
building to go
And then if
do
they
it
don't,
again
it's
in
kind of
the
like
hopes that
public
they get
shaming is like the
corrected.
warning.
But the most effective way to deal with somebody who commits a heinous crime is to separate them from the innocent, separate them from society, put them in a cage, and leave them there until their sentence is up.
But then,
okay,
see,
you
that's
can
the thing.
rehabilitate during
You have a
that
higher
sentence.
chance
But
of
here's the thing about
you have a higher chance
rehabilitation
of
is it
fixing
relies
someone.
on the prison system, right?
I
You
would
can't
say that's
rehabilitate
effective.
absent of prison. And if you rely only on public shaming,
Russ,
justice
you
is
just
never
talk
served,
and
and then the
talk and
criminal
talk.
goes in
You gotta let other people
reoffense.
talk.
No, but Russ, but that's the thing. That's the key. The public
You never
shaming is the start. That's where everyone should start. That's why it's the most effective. If you can't get it through public shaming, then the next step would be, okay, they're not getting it. Obviously, this one's too far gone if you want to say that. So public shaming would
We
be
publicly shame somebody who commits a crime.
Yes.
And there's no other punishment. They're not removed from society. They're just turned back loose into society.
That would be
after
the
being
initial
publicly
entailment.
shamed
Yeah.
once.
If you're getting your ass spanked for doing something wrong, do you have
So
a
it's
more
not
likelihood
effective if
to?
it has to be done again. And then after that,
here's
when
the
your
thing.
method is then ineffective, then what are
If
you going
it's
to rely
ineffective.
on, Johnny? You're going to
If
put
it's
them
ineffective.
in prison.
And guess what? When I put them in
Therefore,
prison,
prison is
what's
more
more likely going
effective
to
than
happen?
public
Are they
shaming.
going to get rehabilitated, or are they going to be even worse because they're acclimating to the people
on.
in the prison?
He's
I have
talking
to fit
about-
in to get in.
He's talking
And
about
now to-
5% maybe of criminals are the ones that are in life and that are not recoverable. They're crazy diaper snipers. They're rapists.
But they're still punished in prison.
Hold on. You're talking about a small
Oh,
percentage.
punishment! It's
You're
a real
doing-
punishment to sit in a 6x9 with
Russ,
TV and
you're doing the
gaming
abortion
privileges
argument
and
when
reading
people-
books and working out with the boys in the yard.
Johnny, hold on, Johnny. I haven't even talked
Sorry,
much.
Jada. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're doing what in an abortion debate when they say what about rape and they're dying. You're bringing up the 1%. You're talking about the crazy,
not.
unfixable people. The majority of people, when we lock them in prison, they're not in there for life or death. They're in there for
take arguments to their
5
most,
years, 3
most
years, a
extreme
year,
conclusion
10
and see if
years,
they hold
20
weight.
years. Can I finish what I'm saying? Calm down.
I'm just responding.
You got to
I
hit the
haven't finished what I'm saying yet.
You
I
said
haven't
that,
I haven't paused yet to finish
but
what
you
I'm
see,
saying.
you say I use these fringe cases like an abortion, like I'm arguing.
You
for
are.
abortion.
You're using
That's
fringe
not
cases.
exactly-
You're talking about serial
No, I'm not
killers and
using
rape,
fringe
crazy
cases.
rapists
I'm
and murders,
taking-
where we're got to
taking
lock them in
your
prison for
position.
life. I'm talking
I'm
about
taking your
fa-
position to
Can
its
I
most
finish my fucking
extreme
point, Russ?
conclusion and seeing if it's
Talking
holding
about
water.
the vast majority of criminals who are doing a day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, a year, 10 years, 20 years, not life and not death. I'm talking about the vast majority of prisoners. What do we want to do with them while they're there? We just want to have them sit and pay taxes to let them sit in a cell somewhere, or we want to do something with them.
So justice is served for the victim. Yes,
Wouldn't
they are
you
going
want
to sit in a
Wouldn't
cell.
you want to rehabilitate them while they're in prison? Wouldn't that be a better, more effective punishment?
That's fine.
You know, it'd be great if they never went to prison.
Rehabilitation
in the
isn't the
first place. It was
punishment,
public
though,
shaming.
Talking about
Being
the
in
serial
prison
killers that are going to do
is-
life.
Being in prison is the punishment. Rehabilitation is the end game, and I can agree to that.
Okay, so if
Rehabilitation
they're
inside
gonna do
prison
life, they might
possible,
as well get
sure,
death. We might as well
but that
just fuck
doesn't
'em
mean it's
quick.
an effective punishment. That means that your method of what you consider punishment, rehabilitation, which it's not a punishment, relies on the prison system for it to even be effective. Because absent of prison, how are you going to rehabilitate somebody?
I'm not saying that you can't have all
Well,
of
you
them.
can go to
Not an all or
rehabilitation.
nothing.
Okay, so
I'm saying
prison
all
is-
3 of them are valid,
Yes, but
but
the
one is the
prompt
most
is
effective.
which is the most effective.
The
Therefore,
one
prison
that- the
stands
one-
out as
the
the
one
most
that
effective.
has the most
Everything else is
reciprocity
short.
in benefit. The one that has the
Prison's
most people
effectiveness is
coming back to
only
society and
amplified
being
by
members
public
of
shaming.
society.
Nobody wants to go to prison because the public shaming. Everyone tells you it's so bad.
Yes, but
you're going to go in
public
there. You're going to
shaming
make this
alone-
mistake and ruin your life. And that's
But
why
public
most of people.
shaming alone doesn't work.
Well, I
It
don't think any
requires
of these
prison,
things alone work.
because
They're all
prison
part of an
itself
interesting system.
is the force, right?
How much time are we
You
at?
got to use a level of force for punishment.
Fuck, I'm not
Public
recording.
Yeah, the public shaming wouldn't be considered any type of force. Saying,
yes,
"Hey, you're
but
going to
public
get."
shaming alone, though. If you publicly shame a criminal alone, where's the justice? And also, how are you protecting the people? You're not taking.
Let it get to 15 minutes. See if we have a solo judge.
Society.
Where's the justice is based on your personal preference or an anecdote, or it's the public shaming is actually based on the individual before they commit the crime. If you can catch them before they do it and let them know it's bad.
If we left justice up to personal preference, then a lot of people would be dead. That's why we don't leave justice up to personal preference.
Well, we wouldn't do that
That's why
because it's publicly shamed to kill people, right? Or end people.
Prison. So that way we can punish people justly, so people don't take the law into their own hands and use force to do so.
Yeah, but is it not public shaming? Yes, I hear you.
So okay, here's an example.
Prison being the result.
You've got a guy who harms my child, and you want to publicly shame him. You want to put him up in one of those racks and throw tomatoes at him for the day. You think
not
that,
just
you think
that,
justice
it's
is going to
publicly
be served in
shaming
my
people to
eyes?
even think about doing that.
I think you're going to want to kill him.
It's planting the seeds before that.
Exactly.
If you do this,
so
you're going to get
all right. Public shaming. He's still going to have to answer to me because I then feel justice has not been served as the father of the victim, as a victim of myself of this crime. I'm going to make sure justice is served outside of your public shaming.
All right, real quick, boys. Chat. I'm about to have this poll live for you all right? But before I do, make sure you listen up so you don't do it wrong because your vote will only count once, all right? And you can't change your vote after either. So if you want to vote for this man right here, JS Urban Adventures, you're going to be putting a 1 in the chat, all right? If you want to vote for this man right here, Rev Russ, you're going to be putting a 2 in the chat. Same goes for the Rumble side too. You're going to be putting a 2 in the chat. And then if you want to vote for this man right here, Johnny McVito, you're going to be putting a 3 in the chat. All right. So I'm going to put the poll. I'm going to start the poll up live. It's live now. 1 for JS, 2 for Rev Russ, 3 for Johnny McVito. And you guys got 2 minutes. Get those votes in chat.
I'm voting for myself.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, good stuff. Plus, I always love hanging with you guys, and I always appreciate your thoughts and stuff. But I just feel like it's kind of like I think it's a great prompt because it is a full circle. It starts with the public shaming, and then obviously goes to the prison, and then your rehabilitation. But I just feel like the effective punishment, if you want to call it punishment, would be public shaming, just because if you can catch it on the front end. I mean, everyone always wishes, man, if I could go back in time and I wish I never did that. I mean, you can ask anybody in prison, what do you wish you ever did? I wish I never made this mistake.
That's for the prisoner. That's for the criminal. That's for the person who committed the crime. That has nothing to do with the victim. And I think that's where both of you guys are arguing fall short, is you don't consider the victim of the crime, or what would happen if the victim feels that justice wasn't properly served.
I would want to rehabilitate.
The punishment isn't applied to the victim.
Criminal.
The punishment isn't for the
punishment is on behalf of the victim.
You're public shaming and imprisoning people,
which is why
when
you go to court, it's the people versus the defendant, right?
And
so when it's the people versus the defendant, yes,
rehabilitate the victim too.
Yes. So justice is being served on behalf of the victim and the people. If the people doesn't feel justice is being served properly, then the people take justice into their own hands, which then incurs vigilantism.
Well, and that's where also the public shaming is so effective. Think about it. You get judged by a jury of your peers.
You need a hefty punishment, a weighty punishment against somebody that is proportionate to the crimes that they commit. Taking time away from people's lives is the most effective punishment there is, absence of taking.
But why are you doing that?
Yeah, but that's also the only form of currency that everyone is actually born with.
Are you doing that just to punish them and they learn nothing and they go back out?
Means of punishment. You are literally taking time away from their life.
What are the
publicly shame people like Johnny Somali?
What are the recidivism rates for imprisonment, Russ?
Am I muted?
No, you're good. I hear you, Vintage. What'd you say, bud?
Yeah, they go back to prison and then they stay there. And if they keep if they reoffend in certain states, then
We're
they're
not going to
given
let
a
you
chance.
talk, Vintage, because we're still in the
but
middle
then,
of this.
but then,
This is
prison,
not-
but then at that
happy
point,
listening,
prison
bro.
isn't
This is
effective.
great.
And like I said, prison does a better job of grooming more criminals than it does rehabilitating them.
Both of those things are
It
being
keeps
used
the criminals
hopefully to
away from the
rehabilitate somebody.
public.
If
You
it
see what
doesn't
I mean?
rehabilitate the person, it wasn't effective. It was not an effective punishment. You're going to have to punish them again.
And that's where the public
If you
shaming, public
rehabilitate
shaming can
them
come
and
in
it's
before
effective,
and
you
after.
don't
Hell, it can
punish
even be
again.
during prison. Oh, I can't wait for them to get out. You know,
Yes,
they're
but
done.
still, public shaming and rehabilitation rely on prison because if they're not going to prison, they're going in a hole in the ground.
No, if
You
you're
get
going
what
to
I'm
spank your
saying?
kid, if you're going to spank your kid in the store,
No,
what prison are they going to go to?
That's not even
Public
equivalent to the
shaming only helps.
argument.
Public shaming only works if they feel
That's a
spanking a
good.
kid
That's a
isn't-
good
isn't
argument
really
for why we should get rid of life imprisonment and just have the death penalty quick.
It
and
helps
fast
when
and
I
in a hurry.
unmute myself when I'm trying to get everyone to shut up.
Base.
I'm here,
So
I'm
prison,
trying to get,
that's an
I'm trying to
effective
get
one.
people
You
to
got
shut
me on
up
that
who's
one.
not even fucking unmuted. So first off, we got our votes are locked in here, okay, and the votes have decided that 39% said that JS Urban Adventures is the winner of the three-way battle, and coming in second place and still safe is Johnny McVito, and that leaves Rev Russ. That was 15 votes for JS, 12 for Johnny, and 11 for
Oh my God.
Rev Russ. You beat
A
him
lot of
by
ex-criminals in this chat.
by one vote.
Rev has-
We get rehabilitated, boys.
We want the easy way.
We're gonna let this
Rev
fucking
Russ,
lock us up.
tell
Oh.
everyone in the chat where they can find you and why they got to bring you back.
I am Rev Russ, the Unapologetic Preacher. You can find me on YouTube, Unapologetic Preacher, on Discord. Soon I'll be on X full-time, maybe even Twitch. I'm going to start streaming full-time as well. There was a little roadblock in my plan, but make sure you subscribe and revive me. I think I put on a pretty good debate there. Were you not entertained? I mean, I took on the legendary JS Urban Adventures and Johnny Vito and tried to prove that prison is the best option short of taking their life. So make sure you bring me back so I don't lose mine. God bless everybody and have a great night.
Always,
God bless you,
always
Rev.
a pleasure having you. And if they bring you back, you're more than welcome. And until then, my friend.
Your soul is mine.
Another soul added to the safe of souls. And that's how it goes on Verbal Combat Friday, baby. And shit.
What? Man, not Rev Russ. Yeah, we must have a lot of liberals and ex-cons in the chat. Telling you.
What? Liberal? Ex-con, maybe. What's that?